Okay, guys, we're live. This is the fifth episode of the new Left Voice podcast. Sorry we've started a bit late. It's just we were just waiting for people to join. We're all very busy today. But anyway, I'm joined by Cameron and the Drunk Vegan at the start of the stream. So Drunk Vegan's actually hasn't been on any of my streams before. So Drunk Vegan, please introduce yourself.
I go by the Drunk Vegan, or Vohan is my online name. Drunk Vegan is my channel name, and I like to talk about primarily veganism and other topics, politics, and anything that's like thought provoking, really. Just trying to get people to think and trying to find if what they think is actually what they think.
Yeah.
So, stuff like that.
Yeah, so how would you class yourself as, say, politically, like on the spectrum and that sort of
thing? I'm like a social capitalist.
Oh, social capitalist. So sort of a bit like New Labour, I'd say, a bit like that. But
no,
probably a bit to the left.
Really. For example, Corbyn is basically, as far as I'm aware, he's not promoting for absolute socialism. He's not a communist. Basically, you want to let the free market run as much as possible, but you want to have a safety net for the most vulnerable in society.
Yeah, because I sort of see where you're coming from. So you're sort of saying, leave private sector to the private sector, leave the public sector to the public sector, and don't let the sort of things collide, I guess. Is that what you're trying to say?
Kind of, yeah. You want it as free as possible, so it can. But you also want to have like certain rules. You don't want certain companies to get monopolies on things.
Yeah, because that's what you see, for example, in the EU, how you have big business. I was reading about this. The corporate lobbyists dictate around 75% of EU regulation, which is ridiculous. So it's that sort of thing. To me, I think you need to have a level playing field. You actually need sort of controls and regulations to sort of. It's sort of like bringing people down and putting other people up, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Because like the idea is like you want it to be as a balanced playing field for everyone as possible. Yeah. But you still want, like, I think the best countries to live in the world are Western countries, and they are essentially social capitalist countries.
Yeah, because
even America is.
Yeah,
it's just a lesser one.
I mean, the sort of thing you're talking about, like social capitalism, with I think you're talking about the sort of like Nordic countries, if you will, that sort of thing.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I sort of agree with where you're coming from. I mean, I wouldn't call myself a socialist as such just yet. I would consider myself sort of like where you are, but with more socialist leaning, so slightly to the left of where you are, because personally I'm more of an evolutionary type of, I believe in evolutionary politics, and at the moment you need to have a market system in order to sustain everything, and you can't have a level playing field at all unless you abolish the whole thing, which won't happen.
Well, what do you mean by level playing field? Like, I just mean like equal.
I mean, it's, I don't know how to describe it, like sort of how, you know, nobody's better than, not like communism, but like in terms of corporations, like nobody's better than everyone else, that sort of thing. So like, you know, in the system we live in nowadays, it's like you mentioned about the monopolies. We're basically living in an age where big companies dictate how we live and how we see things in the world, and I think that should change. I think there should be a more sort of how every company should be treated equally. It shouldn't be like the big ones that rule everyone else, I think.
Yeah, like, yeah, no, I agree. I believe like equal of opportunity. I do believe if people like end up being successful and selling things, you know, like say I come up with, you know, I mean, I've got plans of in the future of going to going to festivals and open up my own vegan burger van because I make insanely good burgers.
Mm.
And I think I can, and I think there's going to be an open more people. Like if I become really successful in that, like I don't feel like I feel like I should probably say if I became a millionaire, right, I'd be quite happy to pay 40% tax on whatever I earn because that would I'd still be a lot wealthier than the man paying 20% tax who's earning 16 grand a year.
Because,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, to me personally, tax isn't so much about how much you pay, it's how it's being used. So, for example, at the moment, our taxes are basically being used to give tax breaks to corporations when it should be used for the NHS. So I think our tax is sort of the way that they're spent. I think it needs to be redistributed in our interest because we pay the taxes, we need to get something back from it.
Right.
So I'm just saying that sort of thing, like tax spending needs to be looked at in sort of a way, what do we need to spend more on? And like, say for the whole corporation tax thing, it's not so much lowering the rate overall, it's the fact that they basically give money away to these companies so they don't have to pay tax at all, which I think is ridiculous.
Well, what's the point though? I mean, what's the point in doing that?
Yeah.
They're already making millions, billions, the majority. We're talking about the big ones. They're making billions a year here.
Yeah, exactly.
Why are you giving them tax breaks? They're not going to go, oh, right, we're going to lose an extra 4 million a year when we're making 4 billion a year here anyway. Oh, right. Oh, I guess we'll shut shop and move to Asia. It's not going to happen. They still want to make money here, even if they're making slightly less. Yeah, it's a ridiculous argument. Say, you're driving the businesses away. No, you're not. It's stupid.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if you're in this country, then you need to contribute to its infrastructure. You're basically getting off leeching away from everyone else.
Like, if you look at it another way as well, like all their employees, they've got free healthcare. There's a lot of benefits to having a business in the UK.
Yeah, exactly.
It's one of the safest places for your businesses. In other countries where it's like, if you had for example, a lot of people like I know a lot of vegans I hang about with from America, and they believe in the ANCAPs, anarchy capitalism, and like it's kind of retarded. It's almost.
I mean, it's capitalism and anarchism. Capitalism, it just doesn't. It's sort of contradictory. If you know
well, I'd say ANCOMs are probably more contradictory, but there's a few funny memes about ANCOMs and ANCAPs and ANCOMs. Like for one example, I'll say one now. When you're having sex at the local child brothel because it's anarchy capitalism. Anything's legal as long as you can make money off it. It's anarchy. So when you're having sex at the local child brothel with the 8-year-old and you pull out and then your sperm flies across onto someone's garden and then they retaliate with a nuclear bomb.
What? I mean, I haven't put an age restriction on this channel. I mean, come on, it's got a bit.
Well, it's basically because what they believe is you can do whatever you want as long as you're not breaking the non-violence principle.
Yeah.
So as soon as you say
sort of like libertarianism.
Yeah, it's basically libertarianism. Is ANCAP is like libertarianism, but like a more retarded version of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really interesting. So, where would you place yourself on the traditional spectrum?
I'm definitely like lower left, like
sort of.
I'm like fucking Gandhi, me mate.
Oh, wow.
I'm like the Dalai Lama.
Oh wow. So it's sort of, I'd say centre left.
No, bottom left. I'm slightly bottom left.
Bottom
left.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm not authoritarianism.
I mean, that's same with me. I'd say, have you taken a political compass test before?
Yeah, I came like right by where Gandhi and Delhi Army was, but that was a few years ago. So maybe I have. I'm definitely slightly more pulled to the center as I got older. But maybe not. I don't know. I'd have to do it again.
Okay. Oh, okay. That's quite interesting. I'd say I'm more on that spectrum test. I got pretty much bang in the middle on so centre to left wing. I think I was about 4, and on the libertarian authoritarian scale, I was about 3.5 to the libertarian side. So I'd say I'm bang in the centre pretty much, centre left.
I did that other one. I can't remember what it was. I think it was 8 values, was it?
8 values, yeah.
Yeah, I think it came up that I was a social libertarian. A social libertarian.
Oh, okay.
So whatever that means.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh no, I got triggered because it came up with me as a progressive liberal, and I got triggered when I saw that. Yeah, I mean, I'm not liberal as in I've pretty socially conservative views, so I don't know why that didn't show up on there. A bit ridiculous.
I think these tests it's a little vague and not very accurate.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like some of the stuff, like let's say I don't know, like my generation, for example, if they heard some of my views on, say, like immigration or self ID, they'd call me a fascist. So I don't see how I'm a liberal at all, to be fair, in the modern sense.
So what are your views on immigration then?
Immigration, generally speaking, stop free movement because it's mass movement of cheap labour, and just generally lower immigration. I wouldn't say UKIP level, which is just mad. I'd say lower it to where it's sustainable, but not to its. I think definitely way too high at the moment, but my first step would definitely be stop free movement because of the cheap labor, and I think that would do most of the, lowering the immigration anyway. So I think that's my main thing, stopping free movement, personally.
Right. Well, what I think with immigration is, the way we have a lot of services. Yeah.
Yeah.
Say, you're unemployed, you can sign on the dole, get money. We've got free healthcare. We've got, police. We've got all these social things that everyone pays for.
Yeah.
My opinion is obviously you don't want to stop all social things. Like you don't want to stop police, you don't want to stop fire, and you don't want to stop school and education. But like what I have been drawn more into the center is what you need to do. I mean, the only sensible thing really is you either stop like healthcare, like the expensive, things for everyone.
Yeah.
And open the gates.
Yeah.
Or you stop free healthcare. You stop free healthcare and open the gates.
Yeah.
Or you continue having free healthcare. And do it that way. You either want to go to a libertarian style, where it's like let the market dictate the wages, or if you're going to have this sort of healthcare and people pay into it, then you can't really just have like the gates open.
Exactly,
because it's not going to work.
It's not. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I totally agree on that. Lowering immigration so we can sustain public healthcare, but to me, the first step is stopping free movement and then taking it from there. I think that's my first step, personally. And the thing is, people say, immigration, the Tories and these other people are going to, lower it. But let's be honest, they don't give a shit about immigration. They love the cheap labor, don't they?
Oh, yeah. No, here's the thing. If you looked at probably labor, so Labour are meant to be, even though they're not, even though they shouldn't be, because it drives down, it damages the working class more than anyone to have unskilled labour coming to the country. The Labour is supposed to be for immigration, Tories are supposed to be against immigration. But if you look at it, they probably want about the same amount of numbers.
Yeah, I mean, and the thing is with the problem with Labour is they're full of Blairites and globalists. They can't come out with this anti-immigration stance because a lot of especially the younger momentum types, they're going to get shocked if they hear that. It's sort of like alienating to them.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. Like, it's like a guessing thing. It's like, Labour want to appear like they're for immigration because they're going to appeal to like the people like that. And Tories want to appeal against it because most of their voters, they assume, are against immigration.
Yeah.
To a certain degree anyway. but they all want a bit of immigration. But if you looked at if we sat down in a room and said like, what number do you want? Not one do you want? You know, and like got a fucking true answer for it and put them on like one of those lie detector tests, it'd probably come out the same, because Tories want cheap labour to do, you know, cheap labour, make everyone rich, make the rich richer. The Labour want some immigrants because well, I think Labour should be for, we want immigration, but we want skilled workers.
Yeah, exactly. And it was Corbyn, actually, a few of his speeches recently, he said that exact same thing. And it's really funny because loads of so-called, you know, FBPE, so-called, like ex-Labour voters, as you might call them.
What are these F?
Follow back pro-European, basically. Sort of, you know how people talk about all Brexiteers are extremists, we're all mad. You know, if you split that, you turn that around to the Remain side, and that's what you got, basically. Yeah, oh God, and I think Swiss made a video about this where he talked about the local elections, and it's ridiculous because the FBPE trolls, they think by voting for Lib Dems, aka the Yellow Tories, you can stop Brexit, which is ridiculous.
I would say that what do you mean by the Yellow Tories? Like lesser Tories?
Yellow Tories is in the Lib Dems, you know, because of the coalition. They're basically.
Oh yeah, I think that's a bit unfair on the Lib Dems, really. I mean,
I don't like them. I think they're sellouts, to be fair. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they're sort of centrists, aren't they? But slightly left. I don't know.
I don't know. Well, it's a bit weird because I'd say on say drug policy and like social issues, they're pretty left wing, whereas economically they're pretty much copy the Tories, to be fair. So it's pretty centre, slightly centre left, I'd say.
I'm all for like the reason why I like Corbyn though, because I can just like I've got a good judge of character. And like I can tell this guy's a fucking decent guy, and I can just tell.
Yeah, he is, because he's a backbencher first of all, so he wasn't sort of, you know, like tuned to the role as like a front bencher, so he didn't have like the power complex, if you will. So because he went straight from a backbencher to at the top, so I think he has sort of that integrity to him. He's like a clean slate, if you will.
Yeah, and like he's not like. During the last election, the snap election that May brought up, like there was so much shit about him saying like, oh, he's a commie, oh, he's a
terrorist sympathizer.
He's a terrorist, yeah, he's a terrorist sympathizer. And it was just like, and it was coming from people like Sargon, a car that were like saying he's a cop.
Man. Oh man, he was. I don't understand with Sargon. Like he in the past he called himself left wing. And he said in the 2015 election, vote for Labour, not the Tories. And out of nowhere, he started shitting for Trump and the Tories. And I'm like, come on, dude. I think Sargon's just a bit of a sellout, to be fair.
He sells up to his viewers, which are really alright. Because
he is. Yeah.
He always SG2 viewers all there.
They've turned on him now, though, because now he's come out and said he's always been left wing. You know,
what?
He is
what?
Oh yeah, he does say he is left. He's slightly he's centrist, but slightly left, and he calls himself a liberalist. And
Sargon, right?
Yeah, Sargon. He's lost a lot of fans because of it, and like, you know, the alt-right fucking ethno-state fans of all like, oh, Sargon's a fucking this, that, and that.
Yeah.
I fucking hate ethno-state people. Fucking absolute retards.
Yeah, I mean, I like some of the stuff he's done about, say, Anita Sarkeesian, but after his whole shilling for Trump thing, I was like, oh, come on, this is a bit gone too far now.
Well, all the anti-feminist stuff it's low-hanging fruit, isn't it? You know,
it is. I mean, some of the stuff is good. I'm not going to lie, but some of the other stuff is, like you said, low-hanging fruit.
Yeah. What I don't understand about him, 2010 he voted Labour. 2015 he went to the Greens, I think.
Oh, okay.
2017 he went to the Tories. Now, I don't understand that at all.
It's because he thought Jeremy Corbyn was a commie.
What?
No, but at first he was sympathetic with Corbyn when he first came leader.
Yeah.
It's not until after the EU referendum, and that's why he turned on him. So
no. I don't understand. He says he's like really clever and all this stuff, but he can't see the bigger picture that Corbyn and sort of like McDonnell and the old school lefty, they were sort of forced into backing Remain. He didn't see that at all.
Who's that other one? The old fella that's dead now. Ben, is it?
Tony Benn.
Tony Benn, yeah.
Yeah.
Legend, absolute.
I love him. Yeah, brilliant.
Like, well, I used like clips of him so much when I was talking to like these people who were like, oh, fucking, talking shit about like the left and stuff and saying, the left is this and that.
Oh, brilliant! I mean, I use when someone says like the FBPE, like I always talk about, when they say that Brexit is fascist and racist, I bring them up clips of like Tony Benn and Dennis Skinner, and then
Dennis Skinner, legend.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you can't. I mean, with their logic, all Brexiteers are racist and fascist. You can't call Dennis Skinner a racist or fascist, can you? Ridiculous.
No, it's just the southern people that are fairly well off that didn't see any benefit from leaving the European Union because, well, we've got middle class jobs.
Yeah,
you're going to make us poorer by leaving this.
Yeah. And the thing is, I was a so-called middle class metropolitan elite, and then I backed Remain. Not during the referendum, like immediately after, because I didn't know what the hell was going on. I was 17 at the time, and then after the referendum, I just thought, you know what, this is a bit of a freak show. So I'm actually going to research my way down this now that the referendum's over and I can have a look. But then around July 2017, when the election happened, I turned into, I'd say, left-wing hardcore Brexiteer. That's what I turned into, basically.
Can you link your channel in the side chat so I can click on it and subscribe?
Sure. Well, just a second.
I can see the chat then as well.
Yeah, sure. The video, you mean?
Yeah, of your YouTube channel and that. And of the video.
Okay. Already got Crit Studio open.
Yeah, no, it's like I've got a lot of friends from down south, and they're like fairly well off, and they're they're not like the dead well off, but they do well, and it's like I've got one friend who's really, really quite clever, except when it comes to veganism. Don't worry about that though. I won't get into that here. But and he was in two minds about the Brexit vote.
Yeah.
To vote. At first, he was like, "Yeah, I'm more willing to probably vote," and then he said, at the end, he made a decision to say, "No, I'm voting to stay because I think it'll make us poorer."
Yeah.
In the short term, it's going to affect Britain in the short term. He said, "We're going to recover, but."
And also I've linked the link to the video in our little hangout chat and also in the main chat as well. So we've got both there.
Sweet. Oh, cool.
And also, who are you talking about? I wasn't paying attention.
No, just one of my friends. So so he was quite, because I have been a Eurosceptic for years.
Yeah, I was like I said, I was never Eurosceptic. It's only after I did research and found out about Tony Benn, Dennis Skinner, then I became a Eurosceptic.
No, because I always used to watch Nigel Farage and shit in the European Parliament.
Oh yeah, I wasn't. Yeah. I love some of his stuff. Yeah, I mean, I don't agree with him on much apart from Brexit, but the thing is, Brexit is more than left and right. It crosses boundaries, so in that regard, he does pretty good stuff.
Well, my only problem with Nigel is he comes off a bit too much of like a nationalist.
He is. Yeah.
I don't. I went on the underground in London, and all I could hear was foreign languages.
Voices,
I thought it was in another country. It's sort of that sort of,
Yeah, and really wasn't it that whole migrant, the photo with the poster with the migrants, and I think he apologized for that. But the thing is, with Nigel, what I do like about him, he does apologize for some of the shit he said, but other politicians.
He's one of the most honest He's one of the most honest politicians. You've got to give him that.
Yeah. I mean, that's why, and
well,
one of the reasons why he actually supported Corbyn's leadership, because he's actually got integrity. I might not agree with him, but at least he's got integrity.
Yeah. He's got a lot more integrity than fucking Theresa May.
Oh, God. I hate Theresa May so much. I hate Theresa. Like,
no one even knows what she's really like. I'd love to get her in a room and get her pissed just to see what she was like. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
just
but
to her as a person.
If you get her pissed, you'll malfunction and shut down. You know, that's what's going to happen.
She'll probably running through what is it? Fields of wheat again.
Yeah. No. I came up with like a funny, sort of like a funny picture of like what I would imagine she was running through the fields of wheat for. I can imagine you have her running through the fields of wheat, and then you have Jeremy Corbyn behind her in a combine harvester just chasing her. Yeah, that's what I imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I just don't understand Theresa May. Like, the only reason she became PM was because nobody else was going to do it. That's the only reason, and she's useless.
Yeah, they just stood down. I don't even know why. I think it was Angela Ledson.
Yeah. Yeah, and she stood down, and she was like, May can't become PM because she isn't a mother. She said something like that, didn't she? Something about motherhood as well.
Yeah, but that was controversial because I think May is infertile somewhere. She can't actually have children.
That's kind of irrelevant. It gives a shit.
Yeah, no. I'm just mentioning it because Andrea Ledson was talking about it when she.
Yeah, no, but like, why does that matter to them? You know,
that's why. Because that's why we're controversial because May couldn't have children, physically.
Yeah.
I don't understand any of that.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, whatever's going on downstairs shouldn't matter what's going up in your head. You know, it should all be about your policies and what you think and shit. Nothing to do with anything else.
Yeah, exactly. But she has no integrity. I mean, I just don't. You can't really. What I don't understand is she tries to paint herself as some hardcore, you know, savior of Brexit, strong and stable, but she isn't. She sold us out during the negotiations, and she's useless.
No, the best person would have been Jeremy Corbyn in the negotiations, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
Because he's principled. He doesn't take shit. He doesn't back down. You know, he's not going to be like there's going to be a breaking point, but he's going to be a lot nicer about it. He's not going to start saying. He's not going to start taunting them by saying no deals bet. No, I mean a bad deal's bet is not as bad as a no deal.
I watched a video when they were interviewing some UKIPers during the election, and who they said, "Who do you want to negotiate Brexit?" And they all said Corbyn, and I'm not surprised.
Oh, wasn't it brilliant though?
Yeah,
the morning after that vote. And you saw her face walking out of a house. And
God, yeah. Oh, man. I love the election. I mean, the thing is with, I think it was Jeremy Corbyn's brother. He was doing some, I think, Windows on the World. He's a regular guest on there. And he said Labour would have closed the gap if they had one more week. It's just because they were so behind in the polls. And it's amazing how much he did, considering he had one hand tied behind his back. Because the Blairites basically said, vote for me and I'll try and get rid of him. They didn't vote. They didn't campaign for him. They campaigned against him.
Yeah. What people don't know about Corbyn's brother?
Yeah.
He's actually Brexiteer. It was a member of Labour League.
Yeah. I mean, I'll link this. I'll try and find it. I'll link this in the chat as well. He actually made a video during the referendum called "EU Remain Hysteria as a Joke," where he outlined the reasons to leave, and he said the only reason you remain is if you're a EU bureaucrat, and he's right because I found it. I just link it in the chat. This is guys. I'm just thinking this is a PS Corbyn where he explains why we should vote to leave. But yeah, his brother was a Brexiteer, and I saw in the comments in that video, they were like, "Oh, why doesn't Jeremy have the balls to leave? Because he's your brother." But the thing is with Corbyn, what I tell people is, you don't know how someone's going to vote until they reach the ballot box, and I seriously think he voted Leave.
Something else.
Well, without a doubt, he won't leave.
Piers Corbyn gets interviewed on the Richie Allen show.
Richie Allen, yeah.
Yeah, he actually said once that he was certain that Corbyn voted Leave.
Yeah, exactly. Well, he's his brother, first of all, and also it was the official Labour Leave campaign. It was Brendan Chilton who helped run it. He said that I'm a betting man, and I bet my money that Corbyn voted Leave. And he also said around 40 Labour MPs at least voted Leave, but obviously most of them couldn't reveal themselves due to backlash.
Also, Des Skinner, in an interview with the West Monster, said that Corbyn and McDonnell both voted Leave.
Yeah, exactly. And Corbyn and McDonnell, you see their voting records and you see the stuff that they've said and their policy, it's especially their policies. They contradict with what the EU wants and what it stands for. So how can you support their policies and support to Remain? It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't.
And what I don't understand is, especially sort of the younger, I hate to bring this up, but like the younger momentum types, I don't know, why did they support Remain so much? Like my generation, the lovey-dovey liberals, why did they support Remain? I don't understand.
Well, my theory is in like the groups that they're in, like in the college groups. Like, a lot of people don't actually think for themselves. They don't actually think, oh, what about this? What about that? And actually have an opinion. They're basically just told things, and then they think. Well, then they don't think. They're just convinced of things instead of actually thinking.
I see this in my uni all the time, and my flatmates are pretty cool. They asked me my opinions, but they didn't trash me for basically saying I support Leave. But a lot of people at my uni have had that reaction when they asked me my opinion on Brexit, and I said I support Leave. But they were shocked, and they were like, "How can you do this?" And I'm like, "Dude, I've done a year's worth of research. I know what I'm talking about." So yeah.
No, I remember up to the day, and I was just like, I didn't actually vote because I wasn't convinced either way.
Yeah,
I've been a Eurosceptic for years, and I just thought
because the campaign,
no one knows what's gonna fucking go on if we do, if we don't.
Yeah, exactly.
So I can't have an informed opinion on this, and I don't think anyone could at the time.
Exactly, and I think it was both campaigns were run by the right, and they were both bullshit, basically.
It was, and it's probably why the left voted Remain. Leaving the EU was associated with racist, xenophobic, anti-migrant, and that's the why the left voted.
The thing is, I don't want to stop immigration. I want to stop cheap labor. There's a difference there. The people don't see the difference.
Yeah, of course. We want skill. We want doctors. We want nurses.
But I think everyone.
We want teachers.
Exactly. I mean, everyone from whatever country should have an equal chance. But with the EU, everyone inside the EU gets a free pass, whereas the people on the outside are sort of left on the sidelines, if you will. And I just want a fair immigration system for all, where we don't support free movement, basically.
I'll be back in a minute, guys. I'm just getting a new drink.
All right. But yeah, I mean, I don't understand my generation. It's just is it just the brainwashing? Is it this whole thing about FBPE and they're like, is it because they see all these celebrities supporting Remain? I think that's why.
Partially.
Because you saw Patrick Stewart with the whole People's Vote thing, didn't you?
Yeah, but I don't think that's it.
I just think it's just a liberal sort of mindset. I think.
I think that leaving the EU was associated with the far right, and that's the reason I think.
Yeah, exactly. Because you saw, I wouldn't say far right figures, but you saw UKIP and the Tory right being associated with Leave because you saw them run the campaign. You saw Boris Johnson, Nigel Farage, Michael Gove, and they were like, I don't want to associate myself with these people, and that sort of thing.
Yeah, I would agree as well.
Yeah, and also and the Labour membership, they voted to stay in, and they didn't even have like a proper debate on it. They just voted to stay in whatever the cost as well, and I just think that's ridiculous. And what's even worse is the Labour Party didn't offer their MPs a free vote. You know, whatever you say about the Tories, at least they had a free vote on the EU. So some people came in favour of leave, some people came in favour of remain. But I think they should have had a free vote because they would have ousted Corbyn anyway, and he would have won an increased majority either way if he did or didn't. So he should have had one.
Yeah, he should have. Even though Brexit probably saved Corbyn.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's and the whole the whole thing with Corbyn negotiating Brexit, it's not actually him that's going to do the majority of the paperwork. It's actually Keir Starmer, who's a hardcore Remainer. So I'm thinking, that's a bit weird.
Yeah, I don't really like Keir Starmer at all. He backs like Corbyn.
Yeah, but he's a Blairite.
Yeah, Katie Hoy or Hoy.
Kate Hoy, yeah.
Yeah, she would have been a good choice. No,
yeah. I mean, she knows what she's talking about. She's been a Eurosceptic all her life, so.
Yeah, she backed Corbyn as well in the last leadership election.
Yeah.
She did it in the first one, but there we go.
Yeah, and Dennis Skinner, he backed Corbyn in both as well.
You know, Dennis Skinner doesn't want to be in the shadow cabinet.
Yeah, he didn't want to be.
No, he didn't. But if he wanted to be, he'd probably be in.
No, I think Dennis Skinner would be a brilliant Brexit negotiator because he'll tell them to go and do one. That'd be brilliant.
It would. But,
yeah, no, Dennis Skinner's been there and done that, and he don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Don't give a shit about being politically correct or anything, and you shouldn't really. You know, you shouldn't.
Yeah, I don't
you shouldn't
believe
be scared to offend people.
Yeah, I don't believe in political correctness because, to me, I have my right to my beliefs, and you have your right to your beliefs. Nobody should be superior to one another. That's my sort of, that's my views on things.
I mean, I'd agree to a certain extent, yeah. I mean, but for example, like, you wouldn't agree say if a person's belief was to murder someone, you wouldn't be like, all right, each to their own, would you?
No,
you know.
No, but I meant it just the whole political correctness thing. Like, say for my views on immigration and say self-ID, which I think I mentioned before, was they're going to call me a fascist and they don't understand my view. They just label me instantly, and that's political correctness.
Yeah, that's because they're stupid.
That's
probably because they've got a IQ lower on the lower than 100 range or something, you know.
Yeah, I know. I was talking. So my second, my second podcast. I think this was a few weeks ago. Was Jennifer James came on, and she was the person running the Labour against self-ID thing. And she got a lot of shit from these sorts of people because they were like, "Oh, you're anti-transgender, you're transphobic, you're this." But she's like, "No, I'm not anti-trans rights. I'm just anti-self-ID because it can be abused."
You have to explain this. What is
self-ID? Basically, self-ID is you can basically identify yourself as what the hell you want. So I said during the stream, it's going to get to a point where I can identify myself as an attack helicopter and join the army based on that. That's sort of like extreme self-ID.
So my pronoun could be I've heard like a black guy on the internet saying and like mocking them all and saying, well, my pronoun is now the N-word. So all you white guys have got to call me the N-word.
Yeah, that sort of thing, basically. Yeah, that sort of thing. That's exactly right. Yeah,
it was hilarious.
That's exactly right. It's basically you can call yourself what the shit you want and people have to accept it, which is ridiculous. It's like with me with that sort of thing. I mean, this is going to be pretty unpopular with loads of people, but this whole self-ID transgender thing, to me, you're male if you have X and Y chromosomes, you're female if you have 2 X chromosomes, and you can believe in what you want, but I have my right to believe that, you can't self-ID, that sort of thing.
Yeah, but like, say like me, I'm a man, yeah.
Yeah.
And like, just say like I want, say I identified as a woman.
Yeah.
And And I even like put on like a little feminine voice for you. It was like, "Hello,
yeah,
my name's Christy."
yeah.
Would you say no? You're not. Your name's Vohan. Stop fucking around.
I would say I wouldn't say it to their face because it'd be offensive, but in my mind, yes.
Yeah.
I'll say do what you want unless you force it on everybody else.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the thing is with this whole political correctness and SJW thing, they say making labels like transgender and this gender fluid, this is equality, where in fact equality is abolishing labels and treating everyone equally. It's a bit counterproductive.
Well, it's like, I mean, I'm still a bit unsure of all this shit. I mean, yeah, what I'm sure of is there's two biological sexes, and you might be able to count a third, if they're hermaphrodites or something in between, or something like that. I mean, but mainly speaking, there's two biological sexes, and then what they say, there's two biological sexes predominantly, but then there's other genders. Now, I don't think gender is a social construct. I just don't like. I just think it's a natural alignment to what biological sex you are, and I think it's fine if you don't identify with that. I absolutely do, but I don't think go around saying, "Oh, there's a billion genders" or whatever, and everyone's got to learn all of them, or I don't know if I'm miscarrying. I'm strawmanning them here a little bit. I don't know, but like I said, I'm not 100% sure on position. All I know is that there's two predominantly. There's male and female, and then you can probably class hermaphrodites into it, but they usually choose, whether they're predominantly male or female, and then gender is something else. Apparently, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's just I don't understand, because if I said the whole X and Y chromosomes thing, if I was saying biological fact, they still label me as a fascist. It's ridiculous.
Well, it's not really fascist about it. I mean,
no, I'm just saying, like the SJWs, they use these kinds of terminology to label people like me. If I say these,
that's because they don't want to actually engage with you. They just want to dismiss everything you say because they don't like what you say. Instead of like, here's the thing though. There's a great video. There's a great video by someone, I can't remember the name, but it's about Mr. Rogers. You know who Mr. Rogers is? He's a American like children's TV host, like back in the past.
Sorry, I don't know who he is.
Right, yeah. Well, he used to do like a TV host, and he needed funding by the government, because he used to get funded by the government to educate children on telly, but they were going to stop it. So he went to court, and the judge, to try and convince them, the judge who he was against was this notoriously like hard-faced bastard. He was like, you couldn't convince anyone or anything. And at the start, they both give this judge gave his opening statement, and he was like, yeah, this isn't going to happen. We're going to end this as soon as I can. I've got a prior engagements and stuff like that. Yeah. And in the end, like, Mr. Rogers convinced them, to basically listen to him, hear him out. And he did it through there's three ancient Greek ways of debating. And it's not so much debate, but it's more of like a way to convince people. And I think it's called, I forgot the name, but it's basically you want to appeal to them as in like a human being. Like, say, for example, you could say, oh, well, me, like you, believe this, so you get connected to them first.
Yeah.
And then you'll go on, so I think it's called one's called, it's got a Greek word, it's called logis. I forgot the name. It's basically logic. It's called logic, convincing them of merit of character, and other one is a sort of an appeal to emotion as well. So you use all these three together, and it's very good at convincing people of things.
Okay, yeah.
But it's very interesting. Let me try and find the video, and I'll share it to the people. I'll share it to you, and you can share it to them if you want.
Yeah.
But it's so good. Very good for me, especially with doing vegan outreach, and that's not so good when I do debates.
Yeah.
Although I should possibly try and do it in the debates. I just try and when I debate vegans, and I try to reduce the person's argument to absurdity.
Yeah.
So that's because it's more fun for me. Although G Whistler's debated me on veganism, he did quite well.
Yeah. Yeah, so G Whistler's like sort of like the hardcore anarchist, isn't he? Basically.
Yeah, it's
revolutionary. Yeah.
Kind of stupid. Sorry, G Whistler.
Oh. Yeah, no, I'd say I'm not on sort of revolutionary. I'd say I'm more evolutionary. So if there's an opportunity to do stuff, I'll take it. But until that opportunity arises, there's no point. Just too dangerous.
Yeah, this is it. Mr. Rogers and the Power of Persuasion. This is the video.
All right.
Really good. Very good. Everyone should watch it, especially if you like.
All right.
Because the problem is with like the people you're encountering, they don't want to. They're not interested in trying to convince you that you're wrong.
Yeah.
More likely, they just want to shame you publicly.
Yeah.
And shut you out, shut you off, shame you. So I remember I was having this discussion with people about having mass low skilled labour drives down wages, and I was just getting called a racist. I was just like, what?
I have that. Yeah, exactly. I get that all the time.
And I was like, maybe you guys should, No,
because these people that say these things, they're all in the London bubble. They don't know anything outside London, do they?
No.
I'm not really. You know what? I saw some FPV person trying to say Corbyn wasn't misogynist.
Oh, right? Yeah, he was targeting you, wasn't he?
Yeah, he say Corbyn's a racist, misogynist, he favours white males. I was thinking, that's complete nonsense.
Yeah, oh my God.
I'm surprised he didn't bring up anti-Semitism.
Yeah, oh God, yeah. It's ridiculous. That whole anti-Semitism staged by the LFI is ridiculous. I mean, the only reason they don't say it, but the reason they did the whole anti-Semitism thing because he's pro-Palestine. That's the only reason.
It's not just that. It's racism is something that everyone can rally against.
Yeah.
And I thought it'd be a good way to discredit Corbyn.
Yeah, exactly. Because I think, like I was mentioning, the whole labels thing. They can just use that label to sort of like umbrella people, if you will, and they just say, "Oh, these people are bad. You need to get rid of them." So yeah, exactly. It's sort of they're just using it to target him. It's just sort of like a target word, if you will.
Yeah, and if you remember just before the anti-Semitism came up out in the news again. There were constant smears that failed. Now we had the Czech spy.
And the Russian thing after Salisbury as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you had the whole thing in. This was after, obviously, but now you had the whole thing in Syria, and they were saying, "Oh, Corbyn is he's too soft on terror. You can't do this. He's weak." And then, but obviously, it's like they've had their chance they've stabbed him in the back once because of the coup, and now they're trying to bide their time and have another chance at it. It's sort of they just won't stop. They need to go.
Yeah, I think they'll try again this summer. I don't think it'll fail, and I doubt it will lead to a leadership election, but they'll try.
Yeah, oh, God.
Well, I mean, they did, and they should still all fall in line after the snap election.
And they're not.
Labour did better than they have done in fucking years.
Yeah, I mean, they got the highest vote since '97, and people think, "Oh, he still failed." No, he didn't. I think, yeah.
Labour got the highest swing since 1945.
Yeah, exactly, and the highest vote in 20 years. So, I don't see what the bad thing is.
It's a shame that Labour didn't win over 200 seats. Like they did 1945.
Yeah, but that's our system. That's not Labour's fault. That's actually our system's fault. And it's how it's designed. It's a great example is Blair in 2005. He got way less votes than Corbyn did. At the time, he got equivalent to 35%, which was still way less than Corbyn got because of lower turnout. but he still got a majority of I think like 66 or something, which is ridiculous.
Yeah, well, the third party Lib Dems were larger then, and I think the turnout in 97 was higher still.
Yeah. But it used to be really high. The turnout, it used to be in the 80s, around the 60s, 70s, and 80s. It was above 70% easy, around 80% even. But I think in 1945 election, it was 72% turnout. And after it was 1997 to 2001, you saw a big slump because obviously people didn't like Blair. And then I think it slowly rose after that. And you saw a big increase around the 2015 because of the whole promise of a referendum, and then it increased loads in 2017 as well.
Yeah, but in the referendum, the turnout was higher than any other election since 1992.
Yeah, it was a 72% turnout.
Yeah, that was impressive.
Yeah, it was because
recent years.
Yeah, because that's the whole thing. People saw the thing because it's like politicians don't care about me, so I won't vote. But now I have a chance to vote against the system itself. And they took it, and that's exactly why you saw turnouts, especially with older people who got sort of disenfranchised with politics because of like New Labour and stuff like that. They turned out like 90%, I think. It's something ridiculous when it came to old people. It's like 90%. But the thing is, especially in my generation with the youth, you saw they say, 75% of young people support Remain, whereas I think it was like a 64% turnout for young people, which was ridiculous. I don't understand. My generation, they think the only way to change things is whinge on social media when they don't realise the only way to change things is through the ballot box.
Yeah.
And that's why Corbyn did so well, because he rallied the troops, he rallied these young people, and they got out to vote for him because he gave them a reason to vote. They saw he was a decent guy, he's principled. They're like, oh, this is a guy I can trust, so they all voted for him, which is fair enough. I think that's good thing about Corbyn is he can bring people together.
I mean, yeah, there's very few politicians that actually come across as genuine. Like Jeremy Corbyn comes across as genuine, like someone who actually deeply cares. Like the majority of politicians, it seems like
they don't.
You can see a bullshit. I mean, I can see a bullshitter when I see one. You know.
Yeah.
He's not a bullshitter.
Yeah, I know exactly. But the thing is, the whole caring thing. He does care, but they use that against him as saying he's a big softy. But you know, you sort of
there's nothing soft about caring. I mean, you say that you say, oh, this mother cares about her children so much. You know, she do all sorts of shit to protect her children, and you know, the caring isn't a soft trait. It's a very strong trait.
Yeah, exactly, and he just wants to like protect public services, and they say, oh, there's no magic money tree for it, and yet they're giving tax breaks to these wealthy people so they don't have to pay tax, which is ridiculous. It's
forget that. You know, they're spending fucking hundreds of £1,000s bombing another country.
Exactly. I've heard it's like 300,000 per bomb or something ridiculous like that.
You're messing me. 300,000?
No, I think it's something with the stuff that America, the high tech stuff that America uses. It's 300,000. I think that was. Right. I'm not sure the UK stuff is probably not that expensive, but America, the shit they use in America, it's that much money.
It probably is. I mean, we're probably as high tech as they are. To be honest, we share technology on this sort of thing because we are
ridiculous.
Just military allies.
I mean, what I don't understand with the whole, you know, especially with the Brexit and the whole bombing thing is, we should stop caring about other. Not only stop caring, but we should stop paying attention to what other people do, and we should pay attention to ourselves for once. That's why I support Brexit and Corbyn, because we need to do something about ourselves rather than doing stuff for other people. If you know what I mean.
Yeah. Like the way I look at it is we fucked up, and not any time recently. We fucked up many times recently, but we fucked up, you know, fucking pre-World War I round there, and the Second World War. Like we had a choice, you know, fucking revamp that, make that fucking Britain too, or not, you know, and we didn't. We just fucking fucked everything up, left them to it, let them resent, and you know, fucked up more shit. made them resent us more. Was what we should have went in there. We should have fucking revamped the shit, and fucking turned everyone to our sort of ethics.
Yeah, and also
converted them all to Christianity. We wouldn't have had no fucking problems now.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the whole thing with bombing these countries. We spend all the money to bomb them, and after that, we just say sorry. We don't help them at all. It's ridiculous.
Well, I don't know if that's the case. I mean, we did try and help Iraq for many years, and try and it's just what's the point?
Yeah.
Just fuck them off.
Yeah.
Fuck everything off. I mean, we just cause more trouble. I mean, we just get more trouble back.
Well, for me in the Middle East, I'd just say there's so much shit going on in there because, America started the whole thing during the Cold War, this whole power play terrorism, all this stuff. Well, they helped start it during the Cold War. It's so much out of control that I think we should just leave it, and unless they threaten us directly, like actually make a physical threat, then we shouldn't do anything because it's not it's not a business. It's like it's not like a Second World War or anything where people are being threatened. It's not like that at all. We're going into these countries and they don't want us there.
I mean, you can say that, but when one leader's gassing, I don't know exactly. I've not kept up. All I think I know, or what I've heard, is there's been chemicals used against civilians, and you could argue, well, then it's time to intervene.
But they talk about that a lot, Syria, the chemical weapons factories. But the thing is, Western countries actually supply them with the shit, so I don't see what the point is. Why are we bombing them when we actually supplied them with the stuff in the first place?
I don't know what's up with fucking Trump as well, saying to Russia, you better watch out, fucker. We've got better bombs than you.
Yeah, no, he was playing that shit.
We might bomb you soon, but you better watch out.
Oh God, Trump, man. Oh,
it's hilarious, but it's also terrifying at the same time.
Yeah, and that's the thing with Trump's Twitter. You can laugh at his tweets, but then you remember, oh my God, he's the world's most powerful man. It's scary.
It's terrifying.
Oh God.
It's like your friend that should never never be any sort of power. He's not that bright. He's just somehow he talks shit about I've got a friend who's whenever I talked about him about the Middle East, he's just like, we should fucking nuke him. That's his response, and that's his been response since he was 15 till now. Yeah, fucking nuke him. It's like he's become the president.
Yeah. But have you seen some of his tweets before about the Middle East? It's just so contradictory, isn't it? He contradicts himself all the time.
I don't know. What he said?
And also,
I'm not following him. I should follow him. Just
I follow him, yeah, but I mean, it was just on the news. But anyway, this was his campaign. He ran on a platform of non-interventionism. He said, I'm going to put America first. I'm not going to invade these countries and mess about. And that's why millions of people supported him on that. And now he's backtracked on it. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, he's not going to... He surely can't win another election. But he might do because he's such a troll. And people like trolls. They're funny. You know what I mean? It's just like, do you want to troll as your president? Someone who's just going to go in there and talk shit. It's funny to watch on the telly, but
yeah, I mean, it's scary because I don't understand. But then again, to be fair, you just have Hillary Clinton on the other side, so it's sort of a shit, lose-lose situation, shitty situation.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh,
Bernie Sanders all the way.
Yeah, exactly. But the thing is that you saw that. Yeah, exactly. And with Bernie, they stabbed him in the back. And I think that if he became leader, the shit that's happening to Corbyn would happen to Bernie.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, Bernie's as socialistic as Jeremy.
Yeah, he is.
So they're still in with capitalism. They're not commies.
Yeah,
They don't
but
want
the
to
thing is,
take away the fucking market.
his views,
They just want to have a fucking...
his views are about centre left here, whereas in America they're so right wing they're classed as communist there.
Yeah, no, we're commies. The fucking Tory party would be a commie party over there.
Yeah, exactly. It's
the Tories are probably more left wing than the Democrats over there.
Exactly, because as far as I can tell, with Trump and what was it? With Trump and Hillary, it was either a vote for centre right or far right, but they don't see it as that there, do they?
Say that again, sorry.
Oh, I said in America, in our sort of political system here, because we're way more left wing than they are, a vote for Hillary and Trump would either be a choice between centre right versus far right, and they don't see that there, do they? I wouldn't say far right. I'd say nationalistic right. I'd say that's better.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah,
I'd say sort of not far right, but sort of bordering the line, sort of in the middle between right wing and far right. I'd say somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know. There's no word to describe Trump really.
It's more like further right than Cameron, or even further right than Cameron. You know, I don't know how far.
Well, I'd say Hillary was further right than Cameron.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like either further right than Cameron, or even further right.
Further. Yeah, he was like, I don't know. I'd say right wing nationalism. I think that's what I call him personally. Well, the thing is, with Hillary and Trump, it was right wing corporatism versus right wing nationalism, wasn't it? Basically.
Yeah. I'd go
say.
with that.
Well, yeah, essentially it was a bit like that, but I thought so. It was a god versus an alt some sort of alt capitalist. That's why I saw it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, sorry, carry on.
The Rust Belts that supported Trump, and what's very interesting is Trump had more support from the trade unions than Hillary Clinton. What I found really interesting.
Because it's mainly because of his anti-globalist policies and the fact he wants to get rid of TTIP and stuff like that. I think that's why.
I would say so. Yes.
Angels, are you gonna get on here?
Yeah. Oh, Angels, join. But yeah, I mean, we need a centrist Remainer on here. You know, for balance.
We're all too left.
Yeah, we're all too left, and we're all too Eurosceptic. So, yeah, we need some balance. But yeah, I just think.
Do you guys probably think I'm probably am I a bit more right than you think? I don't know. It's kind of weird.
Probably,
that the most right.
I still think I'm probably the most Eurosceptic out of everyone in the bullet chat, I think.
Yeah, possibly. But that doesn't mean you're right or left.
Yeah, but the thing is, Brexit is more than left or right. I mean, during the campaign, you saw George Galloway and Nigel Farage on the same stage. I mean, you can't get, that's that sort of thing, isn't it?
Yeah, no. I actually really like, you shouldn't do that. Delete that as soon as you can. Like, I used to post hangouts in the chat. I got invaded. I mean, you're probably fine for now, but I got invaded.
No, I'm not that big. I'm only at 44. But if Angels wants to join, I think that's the best way to join. Well, I've got the bullet chat, but you can use either.
Yeah, delete it soon though, because I got this guy came on my stream once about 2 months ago. On the Drunk Vegan channel. I've got another channel now where I do live streams, VONV. But he came on and screen shared poo porn everyone and kicked us all out somehow.
What? What?
Yeah, and now I'm banned from streaming.
Oh my god! Oh wow! It sounds like one of those, Twitch trolls.
No, he somehow kicked me out of my own stream.
What?
And kicked everyone else out. And then screen sharing like a man having a shit on a woman's face, like smearing it all over it.
Wow! Oh man!
And now I'm banned.
Oh my god! That's insane! Oh wow!
No, someone like my coach called me and actually showed me something like that before. That was horrible. Look.
Yeah, so just be careful in the future when you're doing that, because you don't know who's watching, what sort of crazy bastard's going to do. Like, I don't know how he did it. I don't think he hacked me. I think he might have had like some special app on his, Hangouts app or something that let him get control of streams. I don't know what happened, but I'm not the first. I've looked online. It's happened to a lot of people. But it was crazy. I was terrified. I was like, oh my God. Like, I was just thankful it wasn't anything, overly illegal. I think that might actually be illegal in the UK, illegal in the UK as well.
Oh, wow.
Oh, probably with Cameron changed all the laws, didn't he? He said like overly aggressive sex on the internet is illegal or something because it could be considered rape.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, exactly. It's ridiculous. I mean, I think
remember those laws that he made actually.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I have a vague memory of them, but I wasn't into politics then.
Ejaculation is illegal. Do you know
that? What was that? I didn't catch that.
Female ejaculation on the internet is illegal in the UK.
Oh my God.
I'm not messing around. It's not enforced, but it is actually illegal. Like no one's ever been to court over it because it's ridiculous.
Oh,
but like when women come,
yeah,
that's illegal because that can be because it's too similar to them pissing, and piss porn's illegal, shit porn's illegal,
yeah,
aggressive porn's illegal, like overly rough porn is illegal. It's not just like the weird shit anymore. It's not just like like the animal or like whatever is illegal. Like so much shit is illegal now because of camera. Because he thought it makes children go mad or something. Yeah. It's just like, why don't you just like make it so like everyone has to sign in with like bank cards or porn sites instead? You know what I mean? Why are you just making
because then you've got that safety net, isn't it?
What's signing bank card? That's obviously wise thing to do.
Well,
that's true. I think bank cards is a bit extreme, to be fair.
Not bank cards, but maybe
like national insurance number or something. I don't know.
Prove your age or something. Somehow.
Yeah, you could say I don't know. National insurance number could be one, I guess.
Then it's not anonymous. That's the issue. People just use VPNs to get around it.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think it's pretty good for. I don't think. I kind of think like. I don't know. I'm mixed thoughts about it. Like, I kind of feel like we should protect kids from like crazy porn, but then I kind of feel like if like say a teenager of like 12, 13 is sexually active and ready to look at porn, I don't know. I'm in mixed too. I'm trying to think of like how I felt at that age and like how it, did it fuck with me? I don't know. It's sort of like that sort of thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of feel like we should probably stop him, but maybe not. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
I'm not sure if say for example, if I had kids now, I wouldn't let them on the internet until they were like 15 or something.
Yeah.
Like seriously, I'd let them watch 18 movies with me as supervision.
Yeah. The movies, that's a controlled environment though. That's the problem, isn't it?
But I wouldn't let them on the fucking internet on their own. I wouldn't give them a computer or a phone and let them in their own room and let them go on whatever. There's fucking crazy shit on the internet.
Oh my God, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I was allowed to do whatever I wanted. I wouldn't let my child do anything like that.
Yeah.
No sir. No sir at all.
Oh yeah. Everyone's saying in the side chat, Shafted said every stream has gone weird. Yeah, it has gone weird, so we can change topic now. People are getting alienated.
Oh, sorry, my fault.
It's all right. It's all right. Well, you're the guest. You can do about whatever you want anyway. So I'm just reading the comments. Some socialism would be necessary to combat the consequences of robotization and automation in the near future, and the sooner you make accommodations for this, the easier the. Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's another thing. It's like, I agree with Bub Elvis again. So that's quite a good comment. Yeah, I totally agree because I think it was I was talking to Chamchi about this, and he was referencing. I know this is going a bit weird now, but he was referencing Karl Marx and how he was talking about automation and how that is the future of how to achieve things. And I think Bob Elvis is sort of referencing that, if you will. Like, you sort of need a little bit of a socialist model to sort of, accommodate for that, I think. Because that's where we're headed. It's automation.
Oh yeah, like once we have like basically robots doing all the manual work and then eventually all the work.
Yeah.
There's no other way about it. We're gonna have to share everything.
Yeah, like
I mean that is what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Say if you've got like I don't know a couple hundred billionaires that own everything and they've made all the robots. And then the rest of the people are just basically given like the bare minimum, just to survive or nothing. If they're given nothing, and it goes all libertarian, and they're given nothing, they can't earn anything. What do you think they're gonna do? They're gonna take power, aren't they? It's either gonna be a war, and it's gonna be a nasty war because you'll have the rich paying people to war with the masses. The masses are probably gonna win. The masses are going to win anyway. Either scenario, it's either going to be peaceful or it's going to be war. You know.
Yeah, exactly.
This is all ridiculous because it's really unwise trying to create some sort of, let's say, subhuman group of robots who will develop an AI, which eventually is going to reach human intelligence. So what are we doing with this? It's you can say about which oligarchs find one its stem, but what about the robots? I'm serious. They're going to be a threat as well.
Yeah, AI. Yeah, because the thing with artificial intelligence and the whole thing about neural networks, machine learning, the way that it works. Well, I study computer science, so I sort of know how it works. It's basically they calculate a value and they don't know what they're going to throw out. And if they throw out something mad in their calculation, then they can go batshit crazy and kill everyone. So that's the thing, isn't it? You don't know what's going to happen.
Right. It is an idea. What if they create a robot that say, what if they create a robot that say, let's protect the environment? Now, the robot can kind of say, what's destroying the environment the most? It's humans, so let's kill the humans.
Oh, that's sort of reminds you of Avengers: Age of Ultron.
Right.
Pretty much that.
Yeah, it's like for example, like I play Dungeons and Dragons a lot. Like I've played it for years, and like every now and again, like you'll like encounter like a genie or like the wizard will have a spell he can cast like once every blue moon called Wish.
You are just as well. I love you, Vohan, because I was not going to join at first.
Oh, thanks, Angels.
I am so exhausted. Like I've been traveling like all day, and I got home. I was just like chilling for a bit and
grab yourself a drink and relax. We're only talking about basic stuff.
I know. I've just been like lurking in the side chat for a while. Hey guys, hello, Asim. Hey Cam.
Hello.
Finally, we got a member of #Team Centrist on my channel. That's good.
Well, they've been calling me a centrist as well.
Jesus Christ.
Slightly less centrist.
Do you have any idea like how difficult it is to be a centrist to come onto channels like yours? And actually, indeed, even Swiss it. I mean, obviously, I'm like one of #Team Original, but like, it's like it's not that easy to sort of hold certain views and then.
I mean, especially with it's not so much centrism, but especially the hardcore Remain stance, I think.
Yeah.
I don't think Remain or Leave is neither centrist or left.
No, I think it's cross. I think it's cross, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm pretty left wing and I'm hardcore Leave.
So. Yeah. I mean, and I do know people who are very right wing and who are actually Remainers.
Yeah, I mean, you saw a great example was I think Grassroots Out event. You saw Nigel Farage and George Galloway on the same stage. I mean,
that's so bizarre, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's so bizarre.
But then again, Brexit has nothing to do with personal politics. It's more than that.
That's true. That's true. That's true.
Galloway is actually good friends with Peter Hitchens. If you ever watch Galloway's movies of all talk shows,
isn't that the one that you linked me, Cam? Didn't you link one in?
Maybe.
Yeah.
But but yeah, I mean, I think it was in high school. Two of my closest friends were actually Tories, so you know, you can be friends with other people on the political spectrum. So yeah.
Oh God, of course you are. You kidding? Like some of my really, like, honestly, probably best mates are across the board. I'm talking like Labour, Conservative, Lib Dem, like Green. Yeah, absolutely, of course.
Interesting. I don't even know any Tories at all.
Really?
Not really.
Oh, see. But then also, do you think it's because of the area that you live in?
Yeah. I mean, one of my friends at university is Lib Dem. Well, that's it.
Oh, that's like the furthest right it kind of goes.
Yeah.
No, but whereas mine, I'm in a deep blue sea here. I'm literally in Conservative Central. Like, this is Philip Hammond's constituency, lads. This is salad fingers.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So, yeah. None of my family vote for him anymore. Some used to, but because he's gone back on, just no. So. I don't want to comment on that anyway.
Yeah, that's all right. What should we move on to? Should we move on to the House of Lords thing that happened today?
Let's go for it. I mean, right. So what is your view on this? Now, it was not, in my view, an embarrassing defeat. It was an inevitable defeat. I thought that it would happen anyway.
I mean, they when Article 50 was triggered, they did something similar back then, didn't they?
I don't think it was the same thing with Article 50.
No, I mean they did. They had some similar votes. I can't remember what it was, but
they right, and they kept sending them. Yeah. I see what you're saying. Like similar kind of patterns of.
Yeah. I'm not surprised at all.
Yeah, I mean they should have too. She's just horrendous. Like pretty much everything that she wants to go for is 9 times out of 10 wrong. So like I said, after this Syria thing, and when I was one of the few people to stick up for her when you guys were all like saying, oh my God, she's awful. Like, and even our Conservative friends was like saying she's awful. Basically. Yeah, like she's awful and stuff. I was the one saying, no. You know, don't be so extreme and don't try. Nope. Now, every single bit of sort of sympathy that I did have is gone. It doesn't mean that I agree with people, and no names mentioned, but people sort of saying, "Oh, she should be hanged" and all this. I don't agree with that kind of rhetoric or whatever as a general rule to anyone. But I don't have much sympathy left for her. I think that she is toxic now. I think she's dragging the party down.
Yeah, she is, because
unbelievably.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah. I think hanging her a bit too merciful. I mean, it's just forcing Fina to eat more, mate.
Cameron, for fuck's sake, I wasn't looking for you to say that kind of shit.
Well, mate, anchovies. Oh.
Ooh, anchovies. Hello, G. Oh, I've just seen.
Yeah, well, he said go on another time. Yeah, it was just late because I was busy and a few other people were busy, so I couldn't do it until about 9:30ish. So sorry about that, guys. But yeah,
that's right. I was busy too.
Oh God, yeah. I mean, I was hashtag uni life. Yeah.
Hashtag fucking traveling through 4 countries life.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. I mean, I've got exams in 3 weeks, so yeah, quite busy.
Well, I kind of I feel like I'm really enjoying like hanging out with you guys and stuff, but I sort of almost feel like I'm high, even though I'm not. I think I'm just so exhausted. I'm just like, okay, kind of, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Just kind of almost like not quite with it. And the worst thing is because of all of my stuff to do with my campaign, which has to be sorted by tomorrow, and my agent called and all of it. Oh God. Oh my God. Help me, guys. Help me. Seriously.
Oh god, sounds intense.
And I've still got normal work too.
Oh damn.
Yep.
So wait, so counsellor is sort of like a part-time job, if you will.
Yeah, it's only like around the edge of what I'm already actually doing.
So what are the hours like for a counsellor then, normally?
Well, it's whatever you have to do for your ward residents, plus the council meetings, which I think are like twice a month, which is not too bad.
Okay.
I think it's like, and then obviously you know, I think off the record you obviously speak to other people within your ward and stuff. So it's still, you know, it's still like a big thing. So I don't know. We'll see. Oh my god.
Oh, yeah.
Imagine if I was actually elected. Be fucking hilarious.
Yeah. Wow.
Oh man.
I hope you do though, genuinely.
I mean, I'd vote for me personally. Like if it's just a local thing, you don't really have to go.
Can you vote for yourself though in the election?
Unfortunately, I can't because I don't actually live in my ward.
Oh,
which is really annoying. No, but I literally only live like a stone's throw away from it.
Okay.
Or I'm registered like a stone's throw, sort of from it. Everyone else is like everyone else who knows me there. They're like, yeah, of course. Are you fucking kidding? I'm voting for my dad because I'm actually registered in his ward.
Oh, cool.
So, yeah.
That's fair enough. Yeah, that's quite cool. But
yeah.
I mean, what is the turnout like in your ward, just generally?
In a local, it's really bad. It's the same as in most locals. I think it's only 28% probably.
Yeah.
If I can get people to turn out more, that's in my favor because people are sick to death of their current representatives who have been doing fuck all for them for ages. So I've made it clear that I will obviously vote in the right way because I don't have, you know, just any other interest really. Like I want them to be happy. I want them to live well, and so I will vote in their favor with no other sort of just things that is going to screw them. And I feel like they've been doing that for far too long now. So
exactly, it's the thing with independent is you can sort of tailor yourself towards your ward. You don't have.
That's what I mean. It's local. You know, it's specifically towards.
It's not even a general election where you have so big policies. No, exactly.
And actually, like I said previously, it sort of sets you free because you're not shackled by the towing the party line thing.
Yeah.
So once you realize, oh my God, I can actually vote in the right way through conscience without, you know, my party sort of saying, oh my God, you have to do this or you have to do that. It's much better. It makes you a much more effective councillor too on like a local level without doubt.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's like it's like you can sort of address their concerns and be like, I'll sort this out. But if you have to toe the party line, if you're Labour or Tory,
exactly, you might have to not do it, even though it might benefit them. Yeah. So and that actually, Asim, is exactly why I wanted to run as this. So we'll see.
Yeah.
You know, if I can get my message across and people, you know, enough, or at least enough of a coalition of people are going to vote for me, great. As long as I get more than 5 votes, I've won.
Oh yeah, you've won in your own mind. Fair enough.
Yeah,
but I'm pretty sure you're going to get more than 5.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's the first time that an independent has stood in that seat. It's a volatile year, so we're not sure really what's going to actually.
Yeah, it's because especially just general politics. Like you don't know when the Tories are finally going to collapse as well, I guess.
Yeah, I feel like in my ward, which tends to be conservative but not overly. So like they're conservative, but I think like in the locals they
So,
had
like
to
not
do it.
yeah, like not a super majority, but
Yeah, they had
like
to had to do like a couple of recounts, and then they only just kind of got it. So
yeah.
It's quite a mixed ward. I do feel like on the doorstep, at least, like I can't really say this for certain because I have not interviewed enough people, but I do feel like they are like, okay, no, we are so disheartened by the Conservatives now.
Yeah.
And
they've just been cutting everything. You know,
I think I mean, I did say to them, well, is that because of the council budget cuts or because? And they said no, it's because of like everything. Like we keep voting these individuals back in, and they keep just not answering our things, and they're not doing this, and blah blah blah. So I was like noting all of this down, right? Because obviously, you know, I have to, and I'm like, okay, so this is what's worrying people. This is the area in which obviously it's hitting them hardest, and all of that. And then students have a completely different worry. Students have like the housing thing. So I'm like, okay, tell me that then. And I'm like, okay. So like I'm trying to get all of this stuff.
Yeah, like a weird coalition sort of
thing.
Balance, like
as long as they know that I'm not in it for party politics.
No.
I'm in it for them. And if I have to vote away in the council chamber, which is going to benefit them, I will.
Yeah.
You know,
because you've got to satisfy
look
everyone.
after them. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Because you've got to satisfy, you know, the elderly, the young people in between. Yeah. You know, it's quite hard.
Yeah, I have also the middle class detached kind of homeowners who are bitching about the students, who are probably the hardest to win over. They're the ones that my other person who's standing in the other ward, which is but still in the same like area, so it's like the same ward but it's like half a ward kind of thing.
So how big is your ward then?
I think it's like about 8,000 people. I think it's like 4,000 ish.
Oh wait a minute. What's the difference between a ward and a constituency? Is that the same thing?
Yeah, constituencies are the larger ones. So like constituencies are multiple wards. Wards are local elections. So they're basically cut up into smaller things.
Right.
So my ward is Englefield Green West. And there's Englefield Green East too. So it's like the same area but just cut up into basically two. They gave me the choice of both of them. One of them I knew was not winnable. The other one I felt like it could be. So
are you an actual like member of the Liberal Democrats?
No, I'm not standing as Lib Dem. No, I'm standing as an independent.
Oh.
Oh, okay. So basically, how should I explain this? Like, you don't support a party as such, but the people like closest to you are sort of the Lib Dems. Is that how I'd say it?
Yeah. So like, I feel a little bit politically homeless. So whilst I voted Liberal Democrat in the last election, I'm not a member of them. I'm not particularly loyal to them.
Yeah.
You know, none of that really. And this time, when I'm running for councillor, I'm running on an independent ticket.
Yeah.
So. I think you should become a member of the Green Party and.
And become vegan too, right?
Oh, of course, everyone should be vegan.
Just guessing. Yeah. Oh, you know what I'm like though, Bohan. I don't know even if I could stick to that.
Yes, you could.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I couldn't give it up because I had a nice ribeye steak for my birthday. So. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, I know.
Well, actually, I was like, no sooner had I actually said that. But because recently I have been having cheese though, so I suppose that isn't vegan. But I've been having sort of more like fresh fruits, veg, and stuff, just like to generally be healthier. And I haven't actually missed it as much as I thought I would.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. My parents always told me I should have more fruit. Well, I have veg, I do like that, but I'm not a big fruit person. So, and they always like, you're always missing fruit in your diet. So yeah.
Oh, they're like forcing you to eat fruit.
No, not forcing, but they always sort of like, they keep reminding me, if you will.
No, right.
Well, I mean, fruit's good. I mean, there will be certain types of fruit that you like. There's just so many of them. I mean,
yeah.
Like I like mangoes, but
oh my god, you're so middle class.
Yeah, they do taste nice, but they're really slimy. I don't like the texture.
They're kind of a hassle to prepare, because you've got to fucking cut them open and get the shit out of them.
Oh yeah.
It's not that hard. Just cut it. Just cut around the seed.
Oh my god! Yeah. I thought that Cameron would like fucking hate mangoes and like call them middle class.
No. Well, mango. Why call them middle class? They're not that expensive.
you slagged me off the other day and called me middle class for having something like a fucking
avocado. I think it was.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Well, that's different.
Whatever.
I avocados and they're good.
Yeah, I like them.
Healthy fats.
I'm a bit towards avocados. I don't really like them. Yeah, don't really like them, but they're nice. They're nice with with like guacamole, with salsa. I like it with stuff though. Nice in that sense.
I like to make them into a sandwich, so like
don't.
A bit of dairy-free cheese. I have these sage and onion slices.
Yeah.
You know what I like to eat is raw carrots.
Oh, I actually quite like carrots too.
Yeah, I like them too. Yeah.
Raw carrots.
Yeah, same. Like I quite like them.
Yeah.
A really good, like healthy, quick a recipe for it is a grated carrot. You get some wraps, a bit of hummus. Like use when you butter shit, but use hummus as the butter. Just spread it on.
Oh yeah.
Seriously, what the fuck?
No, well, that's good because I'm a student, so these are good recipes I could learn.
Yeah, great cheese on it. So you get a wrap, spread it with hummus, grate some cheese on it, get a bit of beetroot, slice that on it, get a bit of mayonnaise.
Like vomit.
No, it's nice.
I like beetroot.
Beetroot is supposed to be like the meat, you know what I mean? Like
I like beetroot. It's quite nice.
It's horrible.
Yeah. Well, I think it tastes like the chunks in sick, but
it's really good for you. It's really
okay.
Well, it might be, but it still tastes like the chunks in.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna try this out of the holidays. I'm gonna try this out.
Yeah, and then that's it. Just grated carrot.
Grated carrot.
You can put a bit of spinach in there. Oh yeah, I love a bit of spinach. A bit of rocket.
I like spinach, yeah.
Don't really like rocket myself, but it's good for you. Watercress.
Shafted says in the side chat, all this talk of food, and I only have £9 until next week. Shafted, I am going to give you money because that is disgusting that the government could even do that to you.
Yeah, bloody
Shafted, what you need to do with that £9 is you need to go buy a bag of potatoes for like £1. You need to go to the supermarket when it's like at the end of the day when they're reducing all shit. Buy like the reduced potatoes, bag of potatoes. That's going to last you a few days. You basically go for all the plant things that are going to go off.
Do you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna fucking treat him. I'm gonna buy you a full shop and I'm gonna have it delivered to your house.
Yeah. How far do you live away from Shafted? Is it?
Shafted, whereabouts do you live? Just let me know where you live. I'm gonna have an Ocado delivery done for you.
That's lovely. I mean, that's a great idea. If we can support our community, that's great.
Yeah.
Oh God, that's that. Nice.
I don't even know.
Oh my God.
And you know what's so awful, right?
Yeah.
It's that, like, whilst all of you like take the piss out of me, blah blah blah. You're like middle class. This is true. I am. Like, I don't know what that feels like.
Yeah. I mean, I'm middle class, and I only became a Leaver 1 year after the referendum, so I'm still sort of classed as that, if you know what I mean.
Okay. All right. Shafted. I'm going to help you out, all right? Are you on Twitter? Because I do have.
Yeah, and Shafted says £4 is bus fare for signing up on Thursday. That's
what
horrible.
the fuck?
That's horrible. Oh my god.
No,
Yeah.
no, you're not gonna have to do that, Shafted. I'm gonna sort you out.
Oh, that's awful.
I might have to go to Food Bank on Friday. I've been thinking.
Nope.
That's horrible.
You don't have to be thinking anything. You kill them.
Yeah.
That's very nice of Angels.
Yeah, I mean
do
that's
that.
you know, I'm gonna remember this stream for just this. To be fair, that's brilliant.
What?
Well, I'm just saying, you know, for this, what you're doing for Shafted, I'm gonna remember this. I mean, it's really good.
I couldn't not do it for him. It's
Fair enough.
absolutely
I mean,
disgusting.
Yeah.
That people in this country are treated in that fashion.
Yeah, I mean, and you see, especially with the Tories, their assessments, like disability assessments, those sorts of things, and they normally declare people fit for work when they're on the verge of death, and it's horrible.
Mm-hmm. Right. So yeah, what we need to do is we need to make a big sort of differentiation between being sensible and being utterly heartless. And I feel like this government has just lost it. It's not fit for purpose. I'm pretty sure even Conservative voters who I know well, who are like good friends of mine, openly admit how horrendous they are, especially under her. But when they start to do that kind of thing, it is just not acceptable. No, you're not taking other people's money, Shafted. You're taking your own.
Yeah, I mean, it's like we've offered help. We've offered help. It's you know, we've offered it. It's not you taking it.
No, exactly. And also, don't think of it as like charity. It's literally something that I genuinely agree with and I want to actually do. Okay?
Yeah.
So you don't have to be ashamed or worried or, you know, yeah. So
it's so nice.
Lovely.
Well, this is just the way that I kind of am because I don't want people to
suffer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I certainly don't want our good mates to.
No, yeah, Shafted's a great guy, but you know, if he's in that sort of situation, you know, someone needs to help him.
Yes, and it's not only that. It's like we need to rebalance this system. Like you can't have people being on like £9. Are you kidding? Like what?
No, I just think like how much I've wasted so much money lately. I'm just thinking £9. Like yeah, sure. Like a lot of like the plant foods I buy. Like I buy a lot of like whole food. I don't buy like ready meals and that very often.
No, but like Whole Foods and shit, and they do cost a lot. Like
I go for the cheap shit at the end. You know when the supermarkets are closed and that. I go
when they like reduce it and stuff.
And like. Yeah, I can buy a lot like that. It's just like basically today I've spent a lot more than £9 anyway.
Yeah, I mean I spent a good £10 during this week alone on food, but that's not that's just generally for me snack money and going out. So that I can't imagine how Shafted can live on £9. That's insane.
I mean. You could do it. You'd have to be smart, though. You'd have to you'd have to go at the end when the supermarkets are closed.
Yeah, I mean that's what I did. I think a couple of weeks ago, I went to Tesco's on a Sunday and like loads of things for cheap. So I bagged loads of things for like £3. So
yeah, send me a blank email, Shafted, to that, and then I can send you stuff via PayPal. But you need to.
Or you could just send the address, and then you could just send them shopping that way.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because I said in the chat, Shafted is grocery, so no need for PayPal. So.
Oh yeah, I can just send you groceries straight away. That's true. And actually, this is going to be really exciting. I can like send you my weekly groceries, and then you can tell me what you think of mine.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a great idea.
No, all vegan stuff. I'm joking. I know it's not.
all vegan stuff.
All vegan.
I know it's not. Don't worry.
I'm gonna send him booze too. But like good booze, like Prosecco and
You can
stuff.
buy me some cannabis if you want.
I'll send you some too, darling.
Well, he's a drunk vegan after all. Yeah.
Oh, he is. Yeah, we've always got on really, really well.
Mm.
Oh,
yeah, I mean, Shafted
Shafted.
he deserves a treat. Give him a treat.
Yeah, I'm gonna have it sent to you then, Shafted. Oh, take back everything I said about you. Are you just trying to be a smart? or have you honestly slated me because everyone else has? Give me the bullet and all of that kind of
never
shit.
have angels.
Oh, come on. Yes, you have.
Yeah.
No,
we'll make a socialist out of you yet.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm just glad that you've eaten less animal products.
This is true. Very, very much less, actually.
Yeah, I mean, I have as well, actually. To be fair, but I mean, I do like my meat. I'm not gonna lie. So.
Well, to be honest, I've eaten less meat as well.
Same here. I mean, just generally after the past few weeks, I mean, I haven't really had meat apart from that really nice steak I had for my birthday, really. So yeah.
Shafted, do not worry about upsetting me. Everybody upsets me the entire time, and it's fine.
Yeah.
Okay?
I mean, she's a centrist, so she gets it from all sides. So.
That's what I mean. I get the bullet.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. But to be fair, you've only got James Fielding, the only really centrist Remainer.
And my dad.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Daddy Angels and James Michael Fielding. There we go.
Yeah, James Michael
I
Fielding.
thought Daddy was that politician.
Oh, Daddy Vince.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I've got him too. Yeah. But, like,
is he a centrist?
He is. Well, he's sort of more centre-right, isn't he?
Because he privatised the Royal Mail.
For peanuts.
More like centre-right. Yeah. I'd say I'm probably to the left of him, but only a slightly.
Yeah. What? See, I don't get what's the point of privatising stuff.
Yeah, I mean, my view on public services is it's a public service, so it should be nationalised. It's it's in the name.
Okay.
Oh, well, it's a few reasons. Tories want everything to be on the market, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, because of competition. But
another reason is that it's because they need to make way to the budget deficit. They need to make money, and the economy is just so messed up. They can't physically do it without doing austerity.
Yeah, exactly. It's messed up because we don't make anything anymore. It's all financial services. That's why productivity is absolute shit.
That's the point, and the Tories just don't want to change it.
They just sold everything off, and now they wonder why is everything so bad. They've just sold everything off.
Okay.
And what remains is it's not even British owned, it's foreign owned, so the profit goes overseas.
Yeah, ridiculous.
So, what's your opinion on this, Angel?
Okay, but what I will say is, I agree with pretty most of what you guys say. I don't think that privatizing everything is necessarily good, but sometimes there are certain sectors where competition and free market does thrive, and it's good. So, and it kind of keeps people in work and all of this. So there is an argument to be made about that. When it comes to essential services, in my view, I don't know about you guys, but in my view, it's healthcare, education, possibly other essential services too, like water and stuff. That also would be up for debate. But until then, travel too, essential travel. I'm not against getting the railways back into to public ownership.
Good.
Depending on what the overall sort of cost would be to the taxpayer. Like, obviously, I'd want to see like plans before it kind of happened. And then let's look at it afterwards.
Even if the cost might be a bit high, it's still going to be cheaper in the long run anyway.
Well, We subsidise these rail companies as well. So
anyway, yeah.
So there's no point of keeping it under the incompetent private sector with insane prices. No, right. I get a bit angry at this, but basically, the train ticket I get every day. So 2 years ago, it cost £4.90. Now it costs £7.50 within 2 years. Look, it's insane how much they increase it in a short period of time.
It's the train fares are absolute rip-offs. I mean, the way I look at it is
unbelievable. Because
if they're going to cost money, if they're going to cost like this sort of money, and these companies are making X amount of it, why don't we just have the government making that much money, and then it goes back into the system? I just don't see the argument for not privatizing. I mean, you can say, oh, better services, but we get shit services on like trains anyway and buses.
Yeah. But the thing is,
and like, how much better or how much worse can it be?
Yeah, I mean, the private.
All you want to do is get on it, go to point. From A to point B.
I mean, the private sector will always find a way to cut the cost to make it worse than it already is. That's the problem.
The thing is, the private sector is meant to innovate. But listen, no, we've got trains that are about 50 years old going around here. What are these people doing? They talk about, they all talk about replacing them. About 5 years ago, but I haven't heard anything since.
Well, you think they're going to run on the same technology. They're going to go as fast as they do now. All they're going to do is put nicer seats in there. All we need is fucking seats and to go from A to B. That's all people need. They don't even need seats. I mean, what are they going to do? They're not going to fucking give you anything for free, are they? In the end of the day, what we want is to go from A to B, pay money. Now, where do we want this money to go? To some rich man's fat pocket? Or would it be better to go into a system, into our system, which is a socialistic system that pays for other things like the NHS? I don't see the argument against
you bloody socialist.
It would be. But
it's true, though. Here's the thing, though, Angels. We live in a socialistic society. If we didn't, then yeah, all right, fair enough.
I would always support
so
people.
Let's have more money into it.
Okay, and I would always. Sorry, Cam.
The biggest scandal about this, right? Some of these franchises are owned by foreign state
interest.
Foreign state rail franchises, like Northern Rail has connection to the Dutch rail system and German.
And it goes back into the Dutch system. I know it because I actually take advantage of it.
It's literally ridiculous. These people are completely incompetent. They know it as well. They're still.
I take fucking advantage of it, Cam. I just got a really cheap ticket to Amsterdam today from Arnhem on an intercity, which was beautiful, with an amazing internet and all of this, and it was at the expense of the British taxpayer.
Nice. Did you see any of the girls in the windows?
In Amsterdam? Yeah, I did. I used to be mates with a couple of them, actually. I used to take them coffee first thing. Them. What?
Paid for their services?
I haven't had to. I get freebies, darling.
You get freebies.
I'm not.
Oh no, I had a terrible misunderstanding with one of them.
Oh really? Yeah, you don't have a misunderstanding. She goes, no. She one of them did not.
We negotiated for 25.
One of them was not understanding of the fact that I was I'm bisexual, so therefore you are hot, and then she couldn't quite sort of get that, and she's obviously oh, okay, so you want to bring in another man? And I'm like, not really. She's like, okay. I was only kind of kidding. I was just bringing her coffee. I knew two of them actually, so yeah, I used to take them coffee in the morning, have a chat. They were really, really nice girls. Neither of them were actually Dutch.
I'm predominantly straight. But my favorite thing about having sex with women is how much pleasure you can give them compared to men, sort of thing. Because how they react.
I mean, yeah.
Women have much more intense orgasms. Oh, sorry, I'm going off. I'm going off again, aren't I? But women have much more intense orgasms than men do.
Yeah, that's true. Like, I think that it's basically a completely different thing to a guy. Like, I can't even express how different it actually is. It's like, whilst I end up liking men mostly, I would never say never, because I know what I've been like with women. So, yeah.
Some good times.
Yeah, it's not weird, by the way, Asim. I don't want it to get weird.
No, I'm just saying the stream is getting a bit off hand.
It's my fault. You've got a random in. You've got an A ball in. Is that what they call it? An 8 ball.
Kind of off topic. Yeah, it's all right. It's all right. You don't have to find it weird.
It's adult talk.
All right, fair enough. But Angels, what about if you want to date someone or go out with someone, would political views go into it? So could you date a Brexiteer, for example?
Of course. Yeah.
Could you date an ethno-state alt-writer? Female that looked like Britney Spears but had a foot-long cock.
Jesus Christ. Sounds fun. Why not? Never say never.
But they wanted the ethno-state.
Oh, okay.
They're dead adamant about it, and they voiced it all the time.
All right. Probably not then. I think that might be one of my cutoffs. Otherwise, yeah.
So
definitely.
could you date someone with like extreme political views, like far left and far right?
Yeah, because hate sex is quite good sometimes. I mean,
damn centrist.
Well, the way that I view it is, I don't have to share my political views with the person that I'm sort of seeing.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I think ultimately, yes. If you're with someone, of course, it probably does help if you hold like similar views and stuff. But yeah, if it's just like a casual thing, why? Why not?
Yeah, I think it was Rachel Johnson it was. Have any of you seen Election Blind Dates with Rachel Johnson and Nigel Farage?
Oh, I haven't. Oh my god,
brilliant.
There was a blind date with her.
Yeah, it's brilliant. And she was like, and she actually asked him, would you go into bed with a Remainer? So.
What did he say?
Yeah, I can't remember, but he just laughed.
Oh my god. I mean, I can like. Oh my god.
He would have answered.
I'm gonna make a
He
joke
probably
now.
just said yes.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna say you probably have said, well, she might be looking for a hard Brexit. So yeah.
Oh Christ!
He
please, come on,
those
come
sort of
on.
answers, doesn't he?
Yeah,
but,
he probably would have said that.
I will though. Quick. One time round, all of you, would you shag a Remainer bird? Yes or no?
No.
Yes.
Really? Oh, no and yes there.
I'll say yes. Go on.
I'm a hardcore Brexiteer, so no, sorry.
What? So that you would let that influence your shagging?
I'm not sure. Well, I could use the differences to my advantage, maybe. I don't know.
Well,
look, Vohan, I know what he's gonna say.
Well, with me,
you're like yeah.
The majority of people, I mean, I'm a vegan, and if I would say I'd still, I'd still shag a carnist. For you don't know what a carnist is. People who eat meat and think it's okay to eat meat. They're carnists. It's basically like a religion. They're indoctrinated into thinking it's okay to eat meat. But regardless, I'd still shag a carnist. I wouldn't go down on a carnist though. No, sirree.
Okay.
Okay.
Because
fair
that
enough.
shit stinks.
Yeah. Well, I still like meat, so yeah.
But I'd still do that. I mean, and they're doing something like I'd still like hang out. I'm still friends with people who meet me. It's just I just think they're wrong. I think they're indoctrinated into something they don't actually realize what they're indoctrinated into. And it's just one of those things. It's like religion, in my opinion.
Okay, but even though that's a long ass answer, you're saying yes.
Yes.
Okay, there we go. You honestly think that shit stinks? You haven't been there with some people. Anyway, as an overall thing, Cam, are you all good with pretty much anyone?
Well, yeah, I suppose.
Yeah. Well, correction.
Well, if they were Remainer,
whole Remainer thing, I'd only reject if they were turned out to be an FBP troll. Actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You know how some of those people are on Twitter. Ridiculous.
No, I'll pretend to be a Remainer and tell them you're arrested after.
Yeah. Oh, that's a great idea.
No. I actually, like, you know how much of a hardcore Remainer I am. Even I'm not one of them.
Exactly.
So, I guess that's kind of weird.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Oh my god, what the hell? Bubblevis is like put like the most freaky troll face, with like a blue hat. Further up in the.
Yeah, it's like a clown face, is it?
And it freaks me out so bad because like clowns, nothing freaks.
Did you watch It, the film, the latest one? It. Have you seen
it?
it?
I haven't.
Oh god, you're gonna love it. It's a great film.
Is it good? Yeah.
It's really good.
Well, Shaft is gay, but he says I do female penetration, but not male penetration. But I'm happy not to do any. All right, well, fine. But you are just for the record, Shafted, you are gay, right?
So would you be okay for like having a man like suck your dick? Then is that what you're saying?
Yeah, because there are some people, there are some people who are gay who don't enjoy anal. So.
Yeah. But Bubblevis has asked me a question, but I don't understand it. Something you guys can elaborate. What is your opinion on the cradle to cradle concept as pushed by William McDonough? Do you know what that means? Anyone?
No idea.
I never heard of it.
No idea.
Oh gosh. Are you talking about the book which is basically based on sort of how people are influenced from like cradle to grave? Because I have one of those and I still haven't read it yet.
No, I don't know. I don't know what he's on about.
I think he is.
It might be cradle to cradle. It seems like it could relate to what you're talking about.
Oh, James Michael Fielding's in a side chat now.
Hi, James Michael Fielding.
Oh,
do you want to come and join us?
Yeah, sure.
Now, I think Asim is getting a little bit freaked out. I don't mean to freak you out, Asim.
It's all right, but I just thought it just accelerated so quickly.
Yeah. Okay, let's get back on topic. James Michael Fielding, come join us.
Sure. Come on.
Let's chat. Let's get back on topic. All's good.
Yeah, we need another centrist. So there you go.
Yeah, we do.
I mean, I wouldn't say I'm green. I mean, I wouldn't vote for the Green Party currently, but I do sympathise towards them. I just think.
Would you not? Because I think they're like quite a good party.
Yeah,
I'd vote for Labour. I mean, mainly because of Jezza at the moment. Because he's such a fucking beast.
Yeah. The thing is with me and Labour, if they had
secret vegan as well, if you don't know.
Oh, really? Oh, I thought he's vegetarian. Is he actually vegan?
He's been vegetarian since the 70s, but he did an interview like probably like 6 months ago, and he
I'll send you the book Shafted. Sorry.
He mentioned that he was eating more vegan food lately, and his precise word was he's transitioning into eating more vegan foods.
Oh, okay.
And then his whip came along, or whoever, and like basically like rushed him out, and then like said like, "Oh no, he's not vegan. Don't worry, he's not vegan." Reassured everyone because because that's bad press. If you start like saying you're political vegan, that might turn a lot of people off.
Yeah, political, because I'd think of some random Facebook troll, telling people, insulting people, that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, whatever it is, it's just it might.
Yeah.
Vegetarian is more acceptable than vegan. A vegan might seem a bit too extreme for people.
Not really. I mean,
actually, a few of my
it's a bit too extreme for a politician at the moment.
Yeah, a few of my family members are actually vegetarian. I think it was probably the culture.
But vegan's like kind of trendy in Waitrose, if I'm honest.
Waitrose, avocados, that sort of thing.
It's fucking working class as fuck, mate. Go in there, buy cheap veg. Cheapest lifestyle, I'm telling you, it is actually cheapest lifestyle.
Well, but what I'm saying is it's also like a bit trendy. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It does have that stereotype.
Yeah.
But I mean, if the working class went vegan, like all of them, they would have a lot more money in the pockets if they knew what to buy. If they weren't buying the
if the working class even had money in the first place, it would be a star.
Well, they have a bit of money, don't they? They've still got to live.
Not enough. So.
Yeah, and James Fielding says he's joining about 15 minutes or so. So yeah, that's good.
James Fielding, you better actually back me up with my centrist views.
Yeah, I mean, this channel is left-wing and you're a skeptic, but I don't mind centrists on here, so it's all right.
Centrist Remainers too.
But it says, I said on the description, guests will be on all sides of the political spectrum, both Remain and Leave supporters will be featured. So there you go.
Good. Well, I mean, they should be anyway, because
exactly. Yeah. I mean, I hate the EU, but still, people should have a voice regardless of what they believe in.
Yeah.
Yeah. You wouldn't punch them, would you?
No. Well, I'd probably consider it. Well, the only thing is, I might consider it if they say they want a United States of Europe. That's the only thing.
I want a United States of Europe.
There you go.
Would you punch me?
Do
you realise the fallout that would cause?
Well, what?
First of all, I'd probably punch you about 1 billion times harder than you'd punch me and pulverise you. Secondly, everybody would hate you forever.
Well, you get Daddy Angels and Daddy Vince on.
And I'd have Daddy Angels and Daddy Vince on your ass, and you'd be sued for like billions for the rest of your life. So
I kind of feel, I know what you're just saying, but like I kind of feel like I'd want like ideally I'd want the whole world to just say, "Oh yeah, just fuck all this country shit off. Let's just all work together now."
But it's all authoritarian, and they just want to take power.
Well, the problem with all of this is the people who want this are not very nice. Basically, the Bilderberg Group, the globalists. I'm not going to sound like a conspiracy theorist, but
but I'm a globalist.
Well, there's been an obvious agenda,
and
by
I'm not
people.
nasty.
I'll talk about. But you're not in the Bilderberg Group. You're not at the top. You're not.
Yeah.
You're not. These people want a you.
They want a new world order. Yeah.
It's new world order. They want one more government, an authoritarian government where they can get away with what they want.
With anything, so we will be slaves, basically, global slaves.
Well, basically, yes, because if let's say Britain say wants to do something else. No, we don't want this. Let's say we want what the NHS. We don't even get rid of it, but the rest of the world can say no and stop us. This is the thing about the idea of one government. It's really draconian.
Yeah,
how I can operate.
But the thing is, how can a one world government be accountable to everyone? It just wouldn't work.
It can't. That's the point.
No. You would have local districts that deal with deal with each laws. I mean, you could have a universal law around the country. It doesn't mean you would have around the world either. It doesn't mean you would just have one central government that would have to deal with everything. You could have all different, governments and police or anything that would deal with
this isn't
each individual.
this isn't what Cameron's talking about. He's talking about an authoritarian system where the globalists, they just want to control everyone without accountability. This isn't what he's talking about.
Well, no, that's not necessarily true. I think that people that have like a globalist view or like an internationalist view aren't necessarily doing it just to control people.
It is because they're all capitalists, right? They're all neoliberals.
They are. Yeah.
They want to install a capitalist neoliberal one world government.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, for example, the EU, this whole United States of Europe thing, it's been planned from the start. They've been planning this whole time along, and over successive treaties, they've slowly moved towards it. So it's all been planned behind our back.
I'm not even worried
Hitler's
about.
Plan B.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Sorry, I'm fucking about. I'm trolling there. Hitler's Plan B. Sorry,
yeah, well, it was John Monnet who said he wants the United States of Europe, and he founded the bloody thing. So.
Can you send James Fielding the?
A private.
James Fielding's in the Bullet Club, is he?
Yeah. I'll resend the link on there. Just a second.
No,
oh, you can lay into him as much as you're fucking laying into me, then, guys.
I'm not laying into you, Angels.
Fucking
the way
laying
I'm
into me the entire time.
Have I?
No, the other guys for being a centrist, blah 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 blah. Like,
yeah, well, we're both Eurosceptics, so we're bound to a little bit.
I don't even believe in truly. I don't even fucking adhere to the fucking whole left, right, fucking this and that. Just let's.
I have a decent heart, and the way that I view it
is, Angels, you do.
I am like a decent human being, and that's all I need to kind of know.
Yeah, and let's just not get bogged down into categories. This is all bullshit. Like the way I look at it is and my whole belief system is right. Imagine the world, the galaxy, is full of all different alien civilizations, right? Mm-hmm. They come and look at Earth and see us all just fucking mongering against each other and fucking bickering, and they're just there all one government, we've got everything sorted, and it's just let's just get into the level, let's get into the fucking Star Trek shit, you know what I mean? Let's just all work together. We're all the same,
exactly.
We're all slightly different, but they're all arbitrary fucking things, We can all just be human. We can all come together.
Yeah.
We need to eradicate fucking retarded beliefs. We need to fucking come together and realize what the best options are, what the actual truth is of the matter, and just work together. I mean, we're all on this planet.
I agree with that. I agree with that. But the thing is, the people that want a United States of Europe and a new world,
I want one.
A one world government. I mean, they want it for their own agenda. They want to control everyone. It's not.
I don't.
But that's the thing. That's why they want a United States of Europe. They just want to control everyone.
Well, look, I agree what most of what you said, but the problem is the people at the top who are pushing for this, the people who are going to install their hierarchy. Let's say this: they do not have interests at heart. They don't.
No.
Look at the world today. Look at the world of these people who are pushing this agenda.
Yeah,
look at the politics. Look at the wars. They don't have interest at heart. Is we cannot have anything like that until these people are gone.
Yeah, exactly, and that's why you saw all the big banks and multinationals pouring money into the Remain campaign. They want this agenda.
Oh, but I'm not surprised. I mean, because they also have an ounce of business sense as well. So whilst you could do the tinfoil hat thing, you could also say perhaps it's because they realise that it's probably better for overall business.
Yeah, but the thing is, that's business in their interest. They're not really taking our interest to heart.
No, I mean, I don't think it's one or the other though either. You know how I've always said I hate like take. Oh God, it's such a centrist. But I mean, like, you know how I've always been like, oh my God, you know, not taking one side or the other. It's true though. In this is honestly, it's not a like one thing or the other argument. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I mainly take Cameron's view about the whole globalization, New World Order, that sort of thing. I don't mainly take his view. Oh, anyway, hi James.
Hello.
Hi,
Can you hear me?
Yeah, fine.
That's good. Okay. I've just got some new headphones, that's all.
Awesome. We can hear you, and now you can back me up. Why do I need to take some red pills, and what even does that mean, Bubblebiss?
Oh.
If you piss me off, I'm not going to be happy.
So, Angels, how was Holland?
Well.
PUBG. Oh, I'll share this. This is actually really interesting. This about this virus that I found out about, where you have to play PUBG to decrypt your files. Yeah, I'm not even joking. I'm gonna find this and share it. It's brilliant.
Okay.
It's brilliant.
All right.
Power up. I'm just gonna. It's just brilliant. Oh, here we are. There we
are. The Matrix, meaning dodging bullets, which is what I do the whole time. Since they will give me them.
I'm just gonna share this and see what you guys think. There we are. PUBG ransomware forces users to play PUBG to decrypt their files. I just find that hilarious.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you know that I'm a decent person, Bubblebiss, so...
Yeah, I just find this hilarious. PUBG ransomware floating around the internet. When executed, the pesky program could encrypt the files and folders located on the victim's desktop and add the PUBG extension to them. I just... Well, let's do more of a joke than actual malware. The program demands that the victim play PUBG for an hour. Nevertheless, users can decrypt their files in two ways. They can introduce the code, restore the files, launch the PUBG executable for 3 seconds. Malware hunter team notices the program runs background for. Oh wow! I can imagine. Well, this is a bit of a joke program, but I can imagine someone doing. You know, I was talking to a few guys on Twitter about this, and it just seems like some like genius dad has done this to prank their kid who plays a lot of PUBG. That's what it seems like.
Yeah, like yeah. Right.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So yeah, wasn't the whole thing in Holland? Was that all PUBG business, right?
Okay, so that was okay. Oh my God, long story, but like basically, lots of the guys that I used to play WoW with. Oh, Bubblebiss, you were so cute. I think you're a loving, decent, blue-pilled woman, which I also don't know what it means. So if you can explain that to me in the side chat, that would be cool. But yeah, I was. So they were like playing PUBG, and they are now playing in like a group which basically I used to play with them on WoW. And also on...
Yeah, so they're like following the trends, if you will.
Oh, wait a minute, Angels, you play games?
Are you kidding? I mean,
yeah, no, I play games loads. Yeah,
I'm like a massive gamer.
Yeah, same here. Yeah,
let's get in a group. Are you on
Definitely,
Discord?
Yeah, I'm a Discord as well. Yeah.
Oh my God.
How can we add each other?
I've literally been a gamer since I was like 22.
Oh
and
God,
my
first platform
13
was
years,
the
baby.
PC. My first platform was the PC. My first game, I think it was Need for Speed 2. I think that's what it was. It was my uncle had loads of games back then. He showed me some really cool stuff back then. But I was like 2 or 3. But yeah, it was a Bejeweled 2. That was my other one that I got started on.
Oh right. Well, my God, cannot even tell you. I mean, I've done so many now.
Yeah.
I remember doing actually also some like I remember doing some Sindel, so like playing Sindel, and that was on, I think, that was Sindel was on obviously Mortal Kombat, but was that on Super Nintendo or no?
Yeah. Oh. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That was
Old school.
That was before I was born. Wow. Super Nintendo. That was like.
Don't depress me even more. I remember that. I remember being obviously obsessed with some of the old school stuff when I was like a teenager. So like.
Have you ever played Shenmue?
No, I don't think so.
No, I haven't either.
Have you ever heard of Shenmue?
Yeah.
It rings a bell, but I don't. I'm not familiar with it. So
the third one's coming out in a year or so.
Mm.
It came out on the Dreamcast first, and then the second one came out on the Xbox One, the first Xbox. And there was always meant to be a trilogy, but Sega made it, and Sega like went in massive debt from it, and with the Dreamcast as well, because it was meant to be like their prize thing. It was massive in Japan. It didn't do so well everywhere else around the world, because they translated it in so many different languages. It was all hastily done, and it just didn't sell that well, even though it's just like amazing. It's like the best. It's one of my favorite games ever. But it got crowd funded to bring out the third one, because it was always meant to be. It was always meant to be a trilogy game.
Yeah.
So it's a really good game. You want to?
Yeah. What
I'd advise you get.
Are they trying to lay into me in the side chat? I'm not really sure.
Like now, guys, come on, it's different.
I think they're trying to say something pilled and blah blah blah.
Yeah, red pill.
Indoctrinated up to the eyeballs, says up the eyeballs. Okay.
Who's that?
Oh, I think Shafted is trying to say that.
No, he's not. He's not talking about you. He's probably talking about Theresa May or someone. I don't know.
I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah. But what genre do you guys play generally? I'm more of an FPS person.
Okay, I like actually more MPORs or I don't know, really mixed actually. But I don't know.
I like RPGs mainly.
Yeah, me too. And even so I like RPGs, but I like I'd like to be good at shooters, but unfortunately I suck.
Yeah, well, first of all, you need a mouse and keyboard to be good at shooters.
Well, I do have one.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
But you need, I have like one of those Logitech gaming mice for like a sniper button and, more like loads of buttons and stuff. So that's very useful.
I need a better mouse pad at the moment. I've got currently in the post. I'm getting a nice breasted anime one coming, so I'll be ready for my first person shooters.
And then you can wank off over an anime.
Yeah, I mean,
awesome. Anyway, be right back, guys.
Yeah, most of the stuff I play is I think Battlefield 4 and Counter-Strike are my two main ones.
You play PUBG?
Oh yes, I have PUBG too. I can't play it because I'm not good at it, so it just enrages me.
Oh, by the way, my boyfriend plays PUBG.
Yeah.
And
he was the one that raging in the background, wasn't he?
Yeah, and he's now ranked, and I think he's something like 400 or something.
No wonder he's into his stuff. So.
Yeah. So anyway, bye bye.
Yeah, I mean.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, so I'm assuming you guys are all PC, right? Like me.
Yeah, no, I'm PC. Yeah.
Yeah. What are your specs?
Not great. I basically just modded this computer, not modded. Well, just added parts to it.
So it's like an OEM computer, basically.
I don't know what OEM means.
So like a Dell or whatever, that sort of thing.
No, it's not that bad. It's got an i5. That's the choke point of it. The processor. It's got an i5, not a great one.
Well,
16 gig RAM DDR3. Decent graphics card, 4 gig dedicated.
Yeah.
And what else has it got?
I mean, i5 is all you need for gaming at the moment. Well, unless you're doing streaming, i5 is all you need, to be fair.
It seems to work fine.
Yeah.
That's the next thing I'm gonna update. I'm gonna probably get.
Yeah, I mean,
probably
for me,
one of the new.
Yeah.
New
don't get anything right now because the mining craze.
Mining craze.
You know, Bitcoin mining. You know how it's inflated the prices of graphics cards and all that.
I don't know. No.
Oh wow, it's ridiculous. But anyway, well, Nvidia's going to announce their 1180 card in June, July, around that time. So I'd wait at the moment.
The only thing I'm going to upgrade at the moment is a motherboard and a new processor, and that's going to be in a future sometime.
Yeah. Well, you can actually get Ryzen CPU.
I'm going to get a Ryzen CPU. Yeah.
Get Ryzen.
That's what I'm looking at.
Yeah. But what platform are you thinking of? Standard Ryzen or Threadripper? Because Threadripper is actually quite cheap now as well.
Whatever's like best value for the buck, if you know what I mean. Whatever.
You can get an 8-core Threadripper for £349, and that has all the features. So you got 64 PCI lanes, you've got quad channel memory support, all that fancy stuff. So it's got all the features as well. It's only $349 as well, so it's not too bad.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to spend that much, but maybe in the future.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I'll see. I'll see what is. I'm gonna see when shit goes down. Or see what's on sale.
Wait for the Bitcoin to go down a bit, and plus they're gonna announce. Intel and AMD are gonna announce stuff in the late summer anyway. So maybe buy some older stuff if it's on used.
I need a new case, to be honest.
Oh god,
my case is shit.
What case is it? I've a Fantex N2 Pro, which is the only reason I got it because it was rated best case of the year in 2014 when I built this. So I thought I might as well get the best case, and it's actually really good. So
no, my case is basically a fucking standard fucking black fucking tower sort of thing.
Yeah, so it's like a black steel case, just nothing special.
Yeah. So I have mine open at the moment on the side, and I have the side plate on its in a diamond position, turned on its side on an angle.
Oh yeah,
and
so
and pressed against it so it has more air holes.
Oh wow.
Because it overheats.
Yeah, you need a case with good airflow and good dust filters.
Yeah, no. If I play a high demanding game on it, it becomes a fucking radiator.
Oh god, yeah. Have you ever thought about building a custom water loop before for your PC?
You mean the water cooler?
Yeah, water cooling.
No. That seems
it's not that expensive actually nowadays. It's quite cheap, but you need time and effort to fill it up and stuff. So.
No, I'm not going to do that. I mean, I just don't feel like there's not much need for it. I don't know. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, next rig
for now anyway.
Yeah. My next rig probably. I'm thinking about. My uni course, it's a 4-year course, and it's a sandwich. So I have a placement year in my 3rd year. So in 2020, when I finish it, I was thinking of building my next rig then because I have loads of money. So I was thinking of probably building a water-cooled Threadripper system at that time. So.
Yeah, no, I'm not experienced with building computers and that. Upgrading the standard computer I bought from the internet, in 2011.
Yeah.
Is the most I've done. You know what I mean? And I'm glad I did that because now I feel like I could probably build a computer from scratch just by fucking about with the insides of this one.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is good because it's quite easy, isn't it?
Yeah,
really?
All you need is to make it easier. You just need a good case and you need a Phillips head screwdriver. That's the two things that are good for building PCs: a good case and a good screwdriver. That's it. I'd recommend a magnetic screwdriver and a magnetic parts tray to put stuff in when you unscrew stuff as well. And Bob Elvis says immersing in oil is also possible. Yes, mineral oil. I've seen builds like Linus Tech Tips where they've done that. It is cool, but the thing is the thermals in that when you're running a stress test or a game, it takes a while for the oil to go back down to thermals and also to room temperature, and also when you're gonna clean the rigger upgrade it, you're going to have to drain all the oil and you have to clean all the parts. That's going to be an absolute nightmare. So mineral oil, it's only good for looks, I think. So yeah, that's that. But yeah, I mean, James, Cameron, did you understand a word that we were talking about?
Partly.
Yeah.
But I
What
wasn't
about
aware
you,
for most
James?
of it.
I didn't have a single clue what you was talking about, to be honest.
So
It's
James,
fine, it's
are
fine.
you on? Yeah, that's fine. Are you on console? I'm assuming then. A console.
Yeah. To be fair, I'm not much of a gamer. I
Okay.
used to be when I was
Hey,
when
guys.
I was younger, but
Hey.
I don't know. I haven't really got the time to game anymore.
Yeah, but what
Same.
console are
I
you
wish
on
I
then?
did.
What console? I have a PlayStation 4.
Okay. Oh, fair
But
enough.
yeah. But yeah, I could.
Atom is like super geeky when it comes to like his stuff. He's like
Yeah.
so techy.
He
Like, oh my god.
he was talking about all the specs and stuff, and I was like,
Yeah,
God.
and then Bob
Yeah.
Elvis was like immersing in oil is also possible, and then I was talking about mineral oil as well because you can build a computer and then pour mineral oil into it, so you can build a computer inside like a fish tank or something and do that. I know.
that sounds like too much money and too much effort.
Yeah. Well, yeah. If you want to look at that, watch Linus Tech Tips videos. They show you building a mineral oil, but yeah. And
Yeah.
Linus's main sidekick, he actually got the job because he built a mineral oil computer. So just a tip, guys, if you want to impress a IT guy, build a mineral oil computer.
Hey, Bubblevis, wil je hier komen met ons?
Okay.
Excuse me?
What language is that?
Dutch.
Dutch. Oh, so he's Dutch as well.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. So Angels, what languages do you know well?
French, Spanish, German, Dutch.
Oh, cool. Oh, wow. Oh, and English, obviously.
Well, I wouldn't say well. But yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. So you got 5. That's impressive. 5 languages under your belt. That's cool.
Yeah.
How long did it take you to learn those? Because I'm crappy at learning languages.
Dutch is a little bit different because I learnt it. Kan je dat niet? Oh, jammer. Okay.
It's funny. Shafted thought you were talking French.
Oh, really? Okay.
Wow.
Oh, je peux parler français.
French, I thought that was Afrikaans.
Non. Si tu veux, je peux parler français.
Is Dutch one of the easiest languages to learn? I've always seen over. Is it not? No.
No.
So when did you learn all of these? Is it high school, uni? When did you actually learn these?
So, the rest of mine I learned in college and uni.
Okay.
But Dutch I learned because obviously V is Dutch, so I kind of just was thrown into having a Dutch boyfriend, and so therefore,
okay.
yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, because I have family who live in Sweden and they speak it really fluently because they just picked it up as they went along.
No, he says her Dutch is really good. Nee, het is niet zo goed. Of nog niet.
Okay, I didn't understand that.
Okay, he
Oh, you know what would be cool? If people in the side chat could give Angel's phrases to translate to different languages, that would be cool.
God, no. I have to do that in like my job. I'd rather not do that in like my kind of
Well, things apparently we are Russian shields. Let's spam Russian into the chat.
What? Oh God, that was like the wrong language. Sorry, what?
Sorry. I know you can't understand Yorkshire, but
oh yeah, I can't either. Sorry.
But basically, what I said, we should spam the side chat with Russian.
Oh
yeah,
you did that. You did. Yeah, I think you did that on one of my streams actually.
Maybe.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah. Oh.
Now it's here, someone popping bubble wrap.
Oh God, I love bubble wrap. You know what?
Yeah.
I have this thing where like I'm cool with like I love chatting Dutch and stuff, and I'll get into like the mindset of speaking Dutch, obviously with V, and then when somebody talks to me sometimes in English whilst I'm speaking Dutch with him,
yeah,
I then will like get my languages like mixed up, and I'll be like, like yeah, and I'll try and speak to someone in Dutch, and I'm like, oh no, wait, that's wrong. Wait, what?
so it just screws at your brain basically.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh wow. Oh wow. So is when you translate stuff, is it sort of like the stuff they do in like the EU Parliament, that sort of thing?
Yes.
Okay.
Actually, one of the upcoming things is something that I am not disclosed to speak about, but it is something which is sort of high on our priorities list to kind of talk about when it comes to stuff. So, yeah, which I can still talk about like off the record, but I'm just saying like I can't, like these particular things, like I can't.
I mean, the only language I'm all right with apart from English is Java. That's it.
Jesus Christ, that's like one of the ones I can't speak. I'm telling you.
Java's a programming language.
I know. Of course, I can't speak that shit. Are you kidding?
Yeah.
I
learn it on my computer science course, so obviously. Yeah, I learn a few other languages actually. HTML, CSS, JavaScript, Bootstrap, and I learn a few more next year as well. It's a pretty decent mix.
Oh, Borvis said, I can't angels for now. I'm a shit talker anyway with my Asperger's. Really awkward. After he said that my Dutch was good, which thank you, Borvis. Ja, ik denk het nog niet, but okay.
Borvis says I can speak basic. Oh, the language, yeah, okay.
Shafted said I wasn't talking about angels earlier, I was talking about job centre staff. Was that when he was saying that people... Wait, was that when you said, sorry, Shafted, can you explain that? Was that when you were saying that they didn't really listen to you, or...
I don't know. Basic. Well, I can speak binary as well. Yeah, fair enough. Oh god. Yeah, but I was talking to one of my friends who actually studied English at A level, and he said, learning a computer language is very computer languages are very similar to like, normal human languages. So if you're good at learning languages just generally, you'd be good at learning computer languages as well. And he's got a point, I think.
Really?
Yeah, you should try it. It's quite interesting.
Maybe, I mean, yeah, who knows? Maybe I'd be great, but
I could maybe teach you a bit of Java if you want.
Oh my god, I'd love that, but I'm pretty sure that I would suck.
Yeah. 90% of Asperger's sufferers are unemployed, apparently. Shafted said.
Oh.
Asperger's are autism, because
really?
very similar, but
yeah. No, I've heard autistic people are very good at specialized things. Like, say, for example, if there was an autistic person who was really good with computers, they'd be really good at that, better than most people. But I've heard that's like they've some sort of niche, don't they? Like those sorts of people, they really good at just one thing and really good at that. So
well, people with autism have an higher IQ than everyone else on average.
Yeah. It's when I said indoctrination. Oh, this side chat. But yeah, I mean...
my IQ is probably well below the vast majority of autistic people, to be fair. Because I am I'm good at like chatting away to people and to being nice to people and stuff, but I'm not like any form of I'm just not any form of genius or any form of like I'm just not that great really. So
Yeah. But yeah, like I said, computer languages, if you're good at languages, I think you'll pick it up easier than most new people.
Do you reckon?
Yeah. Yeah, because it's like a lot of the patterns, like you see, like conditional and like say conditional and those sorts of things, like that's all computer languages are. It's basically translating binary into code that people can understand. So it's all about conditions, it's all about loops, it's all about this sorts of things. So yeah, you'll sort of understand it if you learn a bit. You pick it up quite easily, especially if you're good at languages, because it's like those sorts of things, like conditions and sorts of things like that. Yeah, I think you'll be good at it if you actually learn it. So,
reckon?
Yeah, I'm not joking.
That'd be pretty cool.
I think a good first language would either be like Small Basic or Python. I think would be good to
really?
First languages. Yeah.
All right. I might hold you to that then. What I will do is mute myself for a couple of minutes, and because I need to I need to put my first of all I need to unplug my phone, but I also need to put my laptop in because obviously I've been traveling all day.
Yeah, sure.
I need to put my laptop on my desk. So
yeah.
Alrighty. I will see you shortly.
Yeah, all right.
Okay.
But yeah, do any of you guys know any programming languages or not?
Not at all.
Okay. Yeah. It's good. They're good to learn. It's good knowledge. You never know when you could use them. It's very useful, especially if you work with computers in a general environment, not just in IT. Generally, it's good to know. So, yeah, they are very useful. But yeah, it's like I said to Angels, good first languages is something basic like, say, Python or Small Basic or something like that. They're very good to learn for the first one. So. Yeah, the one I'm learning at the moment is Java, and that's because it's just generally at universities around the world. It's just normal standard language they teach because it's most popular. So, yeah. Anyway, what do you guys want to talk about? Well, now that James is here, what do you think about the whole House of Lords thing that happened earlier?
I think it'll get knocked back in Parliament.
It will, because they tried it last year, didn't they?
Yeah.
But can I just say, James Fielding will definitely back me up on this. They are horrendous, this government, and
I hate them so much.
And yeah, but they actually do deserve to be defeated in the second house, like even if it doesn't stick, because they're just awful. Like,
even as a hardcore Brexiteer, I do hate the government, especially because I'm left wing as well. I just hate
but I'm not saying it because I'm left wing. I'm like actually the opposite in some ways, but they're just horrendous. Like me and James. Well, me and you have had a conversation, endless conversations about this, but they're just awful. It's
but also the opposition as well. It's like they keep banging on about it.
No,
exactly.
I like Corbyn. I mean,
no, I don't.
Of course you would.
We've got 3 people on the call that like him, including me.
All right. So. Well, I don't like him. Well, I don't like him. I would say. I would not. I'm not inclined to actually vote for him.
Yeah, but for me, the best thing that can happen is a hard Brexit, then a general election, then a Corbyn government. That's what.
Oh my god. that might be one of my worst outcomes. But having said that, when I was chatting and I was telling James this earlier, when I have obviously my dad chatting to me like very openly, kind of saying, as an ex-Tory voter, he says, "Well, Annabelle, I can't." Yeah, he's like, I honestly cannot
what type
vote
of Tory voter is he? Sort of Thatcherite or David Cameron type, or what sort of is he?
I'd say he's issue by issue. He's sort of like a James Fielding with a hint of Thatcherite.
Okay.
So. He's a conservative Remainer, but he is also an issue by issue person who has sense. Like he's not.
Oh, so like a bit like a Ken Clark sort of thing.
Well, I'd say that Ken Clark's probably a little bit more Thatcherite than him, even though I love Ken.
Okay. Oh, and Bob Elvis says, I wrote my first program 40 years ago.
Bob Elvis says, what?
It says on a Commodore 64.
Oh, right.
Yeah, at school. But then again, the thing is, with technology, the people back then, they had to read entire manuals. They had to learn how to program to use a computer. Now people have it easy nowadays.
Oh, right.
Cool. Yeah. Going back to the government, they are totally useless.
Absolutely
the
horrendous.
I hate them so much.
The problem is, sorry, James. Do you mind if I just? Yeah. I'm probably gonna end up speaking for James when I say this. You guys know that because I'm not tribal, I'm not necessarily anti-conservative, or at least some of the soft Tories. Like, I don't mind them. I also don't mind the Liberal Democrats and the Blairites to some degree.
Oh,
right?
So have you ever voted Labour before or not?
Yes, I have.
When was that? Was that Blair, I'm assuming?
It was Blair, yeah.
Oh, yeah, because he moved the party all the way to the right, so obviously.
He didn't.
Well,
that's up for debate, I guess. I mean, the problem is obviously he's right to Corbyn, but he's not like, when people say move to the right, it's like people think of like Thatcher right and
it's
Major
fucking bullshit. It's like centrist.
Exactly. He's like
to the left of Vince Cable, basically.
Well, I'd say he's it's like he's like David Cameron. Well, David Cameron basically came around because Tony Blair was leader at the time.
Yeah, arguably, Vince Cable is to the right of David Cameron.
But
in some ways.
Yeah, but if you take a rack out of Tony Blair and look at his policies that he actually did, he's actually quite left leaning. National minimum wage. Things
socially,
like that.
Yes.
Socially.
Maternity
things
wage.
Like PFI and setting off more industries. No, he wasn't.
You know, but it's just tuition fees.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, and he actually said, "I'm going to build up on Thatcher's legacy," and Thatcher even said Blair was her greatest legacy as well.
Oh, don't even start.
But Blair was a neoliberal shell that infiltrated Liverpool to move to
he
the
was,
right.
yeah, and then he turned them all into like pro-EU,
pro-corporate. And who do we have infiltrating the Labour Party now? Cameron.
No.
Really?
It's not infiltration.
The elected leader.
It's not infiltration because they took it back. They took it back to the right.
Left. They took it back to the left where it needs to be.
Labour is going back to its roots.
Well, it can still be both.
You say it's taken back to its roots, but it's never won when it has been taken back to its roots. That's the problem. It failed in 1983, and I think it will.
That was Falklands. That wasn't so much because he was polling way higher than Thatcher, but then Falklands happened.
But you've got to remember though that opposition parties, when the government are in power, the opposition parties are always going to be, or normally should always be ahead. And then when it comes to an election time, it'll level out. You've got to remember, Ed Miliband was 10 points clear of Cameron in the first year in 2011, and then it came to 2015 and he lost by 6 points.
But
so
the Ed Miliband thing, I think he could easily win.
No, he couldn't have easily won. He was absolutely gash. It could
because Labour lost a lot of votes to UKIP. More than the Tories, in my opinion.
Yeah, because a majority of UKIP is actually ex-Labour voters.
Yeah, if Labour offered the EU referendum, he would have a fair chance. There could be another empowerment. If that one thing. And
for Labour to win an election, they've got to win Scotland.
Yeah.
And the likelihood of them winning Scotland anytime soon, zilch. Only because I think the Tories are in second place in Scotland. The Tories are in second place in Scotland.
Yeah, but I mean,
Tories. No.
Well, nowadays you've got the Scottish leader of Scottish Labour is a proper lefty, so he can actually work better with the UK Labour.
No, Labour and Tories are neck and neck in the polls in Scotland. SNP are in decline. Scotland, surely, but
yeah, true. But don't the Tories have like nearly double the amount of seats that Labour do at the moment?
Well,
You've got to remember, Labour's this was ex-Labour strongholds.
There wasn't. Some of these seats were previously Tory.
Well,
Labour strongholds belong to the SNP. Now, most of Scotland are marginals. It can swing either way in the next election.
Yeah, but the thing with the last election was, especially in Scotland, if you look at Scotland as a whole, turnout was down. In Scotland itself, turnout was up generally in the country, but turnout was down. In Scotland, that was because the SNP voters stayed away. So if the SNP can even get 1 or 2% back of their voters, that could easily be enough to even gain seats. I don't think they will. I think they'll stay around 35, 40. But yeah, again, going back to Labour, for them to win a majority, and they have to win if Corbyn wants to implement his policies, he's got to win a majority. He can't rely on the SNP or the Lib Dems.
But the thing is, with politics nowadays, I think people are just sick of the centre, to be honest, at this point. They want a choice between left and right. You've seen that across Europe. You've seen the decline of centre-left parties, haven't you? And that's why Corbyn, he's a populist, and that's why he did so well in the election, because he what's the word? He basically got loads of disenfranchised voters back. So I think that's where Labour needs to go, personally.
Yeah, Corbyn appealed to the non-voters, if that makes sense. He appealed to people that haven't voted before. It's a good. I guess that's a good thing. It's making people more engaged. I don't agree that he energized the youth as much as people make out. Again, the problem with Corbyn is he's got the votes, but they're all in the wrong places. To win an election, you've got to win it in marginal seats.
Yeah, I know.
Because you've got. I think Labour have like a solid base of like 200 safe seats, and the Tories are similar.
Yeah.
It's the other 200 marginal seats that go either way.
Because
does Corbyn?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'll say, does Corbyn have that appeal to win them? But remember, to win the majority. I don't think so. Also, the Tories won't run as bad as an election as they did last time. Well, I'd like to hope not.
Yeah, but they need to have a leader better than Theresa May.
Yes, they'll have, like Psycho Benza said before. I personally believe anybody is better than Theresa May. She
Boris
is.
Johnson, really?
Yeah, I think he has an appeal to a certain.
Yeah, but people think he's like a funny guy, but voting record and all that. No thanks.
All right, what about Esther McVeigh?
Oh God.
What could happen?
Oh man.
Oh,
man.
She's like the Jess Phillips of the Tories, really. She seems to be hated by her own side. She's. What I've heard of her, she seems a bit of a twat, but she would appeal to the core vote. And I think you said before, I think that Georgia said before, elections aren't won now on the centre ground, and you can make that argument. But your argument is that it's won by turning out your own vote. So if she can turn out the Tory vote, remember, the Tories are 60 seats ahead as well. So
yeah. And I think personally the next election will be, I think 2019, 2020, around then. So I think Brexit will be a non-issue, so they don't have to worry about splitting. I think that's why the Tories got a lot of votes, is because of people who swing from Labour to the Tories because of Brexit, and now they can focus on their own agendas. So I think it'll be more even race.
I don't know. I mean, I'm two ways about it. I just can't see the public voting Corbyn into a majority government. Maybe he could get in by the skin of his teeth with the SNP and the Lib Dems and the Greens and whoever. But I can't see him winning over 320 seats.
Nobody really predicted Brexit. None of the big pollsters predicted Brexit or Corbyn getting 40% votes. So, it could happen. You can never say never.
I think.
No. Yeah, I think he'll probably be the next. If when there's an election, he'll probably be the Prime Minister. Only because of people are so sick of the Tories. I don't think it's because of his appeal. I really don't. When I speak to people who have voted Labour, they're like, "Oh, I vote Labour because I dislike the Tories." You don't. Oh, I'm voting Labour because I like Corbyn. A few people are like that. I think Cameron said he likes Corbyn and you like Corbyn. But the majority of people out there don't like Corbyn. But they will vote for Labour. First of all, because they're tribal, and second of all, because it's an anti-Tory vote in most areas.
You know what? I think that's wrong. I think Corbyn's actually more popular than most people actually give him credit for.
Yeah, because in the election you saw literally his own MPs basically campaigning against him, so he had one hand tied behind his back.
Well, but since Corbyn gets nearly everything against him, the media, his own MPs, you know, the newspapers, the lot of donuts of the Labour Party, banning the Labour Party. No, he came. Look where he came from. He came from these queues. He came from just outright smears. Anything they could throw at him came at Corbyn, and it's managed to survive. Just imagine if we didn't have such biased media.
No, I agree, but I just don't think he's. I've always said this about Corbyn. I actually don't think he wants to be Prime Minister, if that makes sense. I think he's more than happy being an opposition leader and shouting from the other side. He just doesn't seem a guy who wants to run the country.
Yeah, I can see that. But I think Corbyn's just wants to make change. I think it was really reluctant.
That's exactly right, because that's why people vote for him, because he's giving change. I mean, that's exactly why people voted for Brexit as well, because they're just sick of the establishment.
I think it's more that they're sick of the Tory party, more than how Corbyn is popular. Don't get me wrong, like I said before, he appeals to a certain type of people, like people who haven't voted before or people that were once disillusioned with politics. But to say he has a much wider appeal than that, because like I've always thought, this is why the polls are quite neck and neck, because you've got like 35 to 40% of people that won't vote Tory, and then you've got 35 to 40% of people that won't vote for Corbyn or won't vote for a Corbyn's Labour. So I think that will carry on to the election. And then obviously when the election does come, and if Corbyn is still in power, then he'll do well again, because he's a natural campaigner. He's campaigned for years and years and years on issues. So that will help him. But I think he'll come up against another natural campaigner in the Tory party. I don't know who that will be.
But, I mean, the only good person I can see for that is Jacob Rees-Mogg.
No, I don't think he'll even run. I don't think he's been in any like cabinet office or any cabinet. I don't think he appeals to the moderates. I don't think he appeals to soft left Labour voters or Liberals. He could have appealed to some of the far left Labour, only because
he's an old school lefty, so he's not.
Jacob Rees-Mogg is no old school lefty.
No, I thought I was talking about Corbyn. Sorry. No,
I
know.
Yeah.
Sorry, I thought you were talking about Corbyn. But Rees-Mogg is like literally, you think of a Tory and you get Rees-Mogg, basically.
Yeah, if you thought of like a 19th century Tory, that would be him.
Yeah, I love his accent though. His accent's brilliant.
I bet that's put on. But yeah, he has some appeal. I think any politician has an appeal. But the problem is if that appeal is too small. That's why I think Corbyn won't do as well at the next election, because he's seemed to have like swept up all the anti-Tory vote and can't knock into the Tory vote. Oh, Daddy Vince Cable. It's not really got much of a ring to it, has it?
Oh, Vince Cable, self the raw mail, you cook. You sold us out for government with the Tories. You liar.
I was involved in a debate on veganism on Discord against I was chiming in. I'm gonna have to go soon when I watch that. Yeah, what have you been talking about? I've been gone for like a long half hour or something.
Oh,
Basically, I've been Corbyn bashing, and they've been singing his praises.
What's your beef against Corbyn, mate? You what, mate?
No, to be fair to him, I respect the guy. I just disagree with him on many issues.
On what? On what?
His economic policy, his so-called Brexit policy.
What's wrong with his economic policy then? Go on.
It's way far to the left. He wants to privatise the railways.
Right, let's stop.
Not privatise. National.
Let's go through
sorry.
Point by point. Railways.
Okay.
What's wrong with that?
Well, first of all, when I spoke to people, when British Rail was around, it was 10 times as worse as it was now.
Is it 10 times more expensive as it is now?
Well, everything's 10 times more expensive than it was 40 years back. So yeah.
It was affordable back then, though. You got from A to B. You had seats. What could be worse? I mean, how much worse can it be? You get on a train, you go to where you're going, you've got a seat. I don't understand how much worse it can be. What's the argument?
Well, to say that it's too expensive. Where I live, it's £6.50 to get it's like a 50-minute journey. For me, that's not too bad.
Cross country, it's far too expensive.
Yeah, obviously, but I don't see nationalising that would make it any cheaper. I really don't. I'm not seeing. I've not seen Corbyn come out and say, right, we're going to nationalise the railways and we're going to cut prices by a third.
It's not. Here's the thing, though. Like, the reason why I don't get the argument against privatising something like that is because where does the profit go? It goes back into the kitty, doesn't it? What's the argument of having a private owner or owners that get all the profit when the owners could be us, and it goes back into the kitty, goes into everything else that we pay for?
If you're going to use that argument, then why don't we privatise everything?
Well, no, there's no point in privatising everything. This is something that we use. I mean, you couldn't just go to like a local shopkeeper that's earning his money, the corner shop, and saying, "All right, Mr. Corbyn wants to, privatise." I mean,
nationalise. I keep saying privatise.
He wants to nationalise your, bin lid, lunch money or whatever that you make from selling butties to the kids on the way to school or whatever. I mean, that makes no sense. But a thing that everyone uses like this, it makes perfect sense. You know what I mean? We should let people make money, but when it becomes like something that everyone uses, everyone needs, like, what's the point of like not having it part of the government? I mean, there's no point in the government like spending millions on an X when they can spend millions on Y and they get a return from it.
So then why don't Corbyn go further than nationalise the buses or nationalise
what else do they nationalise?
The buses are already nationalised? I don't think they are.
No, what else could he nationalise though?
Well,
he wants to renationalise energy and water, doesn't he?
He wants to nationalise water. He wants to nationalise the Royal Mail.
Yeah, good. I agree with all this. Yeah.
The energy sector, I think he wants to nationalise.
Yeah, why not?
First of all, it just to me, it just seems totally unaffordable. It's like, right, we'll nationalise the water because everyone's complaining that it's so expensive.
Yeah, but you're saying, it's expensive, but it's return on investment, though.
Yes, but is he promising to cut water bills by 2/3 or a third or 10%?
Look. We spent billions a year on Trident. Now, are we going to use that? We could spend that money on something else, like nationalising the water.
Well, here's the thing, though. It'd go back into the system, wouldn't it? If the
Yeah.
government owns it,
But
it'd go
Labour
back into the
policy is
system. It'd go into the NHS. It'd go into everything. Go into police. It'd go into schools. There's pretty
Cameron.
much not an argument against it, unless you
Well-
want that profit to go to like individuals. You know, well, why don't we just buy it off the individuals if we can? If they're not willing to sell, then they're not willing to sell. But if we can purchase it back. We should never have sold these things in the first place. It was a giant.
Thatcher and Blair sold it all off.
It was a scam, basically.
Mm.
And
Well-
no one else can do. While interest is still there, this might be the best time to borrow.
It's like,
So,
it's not saying we're against capitalism. This is the thing. Like, yeah, you can, like, as say if you wanted to start a business up, James, and make money, you know, that'd be fine. But you should still have the option to sell to the state if you wanted to. Or are you just saying the state should not be able to buy whatever they want?
but sometimes state involvement in things doesn't work. You can make that argument for the NHS. You can make the argument for many things. Cameron was mentioning Trident before. So I'm guessing all you three voted Labour in last June.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that means you all agree to keeping Trident because that was Labour policy. That's what I'm guessing. Or have you changed your mind?
Trident is the nuclear thing, is it?
Yeah. It was Labour policy to keep Trident.
Yes, because it would compromise with the moderate Scenes Party.
Yeah,
Everybody
so-
knows that Corbyn doesn't want it.
Of course, but it's Labour policy to keep Trident. Like it's the Conservatives' policy, and it's like all major parties' policy to keep it. So obviously,
that was compromise.
it might be a compromise, but it's policy. So we're meant to trust these manifestos.
Yeah, but the thing
So-
is, you don't have to agree with absolutely everything they do you? That would
Well,
never
no,
happen,
no.
would it?
No, but this is in their manifesto, and this is what Labour promise.
Mm.
So for us
So
to
did
think
everyone
we're
else,
going to,
though. So.
yeah, but also what I'm trying to say, it's Labour's policy to keep the Trident.
Yeah.
So
What's wrong with that? Well, I mean, I was not. I always thought like I'm with Jeremy Corbyn. Like, I would love to live in a world without nuclear weapons, but I also have a different view as saying like maybe it's a good thing that we do have them as a deterrent. But like when Jeremy Corbyn was asked sort of like questions like, would you use if someone was going to nuke us, would you go and nuke? Say if the missiles was like 20 minutes from landing or whatever on the British Isles, would you go and nuke them? And he'd be like, no, what the fuck? And like, I agree with him. What's the point?
Yeah, exactly.
What's the point? You're just gonna go nuke a bunch of fucking innocent people because you're gonna get nuked. It's like saying someone's kicked you in the balls. Are you know, like, or not even that. Someone's about to kick you in the balls. Are you gonna go and kick them in the balls? It's like, I mean, where should our lessons be learned from? From fucking stupid people that want to retaliate or and cause more suffering when they don't have to, or people like Gandhi who were like, you know, I mean, or Martin Luther King, you know, people who were like had the right ethics about them.
Yeah.
And Jeremy Corbyn has these sort of ethics.
Yeah.
Right. So if someone had a gun to your head and you had a gun in your pocket, would you not pull it out and put a gun to their head? Because that's what Trident is. If someone was planning to drop it, well, exactly. Yeah. So if someone was planning to drop a Trident on you, what would kill thousands of people?
Planning or already had.
Right. Okay. So someone says, right, we're going to plan to nuke England, right? Would you or would you not think, right, we're going to bomb, I don't know, say it was America that were going to nuke us. Right, we're going to nuke New York.
Had the missiles already been launched from America?
Well, yeah, okay. The missile's on its way, and
no, what's the point?
What's the point? They're going to kill hundreds of thousands of people.
Then why
Yes.
do
That's
we
the
need
point.
to kill hundreds of thousands of people? We're going to go down to their level. That's stupid.
So what should we see? Should we let them
No, but
nuke us and then?
it's not gonna actually. We're just gonna target civilians, and what's the point? They have nothing to do with this.
So what should we do? Should we let them nuke us and then after it's all done, let's go
What do you
around,
mean,
sit
let
around
them?
and have
They've
peace
already
talks?
What do you mean let them? They've already sent the nukes.
Right.
We should
Yeah.
have nukes as a deterrent, and we should purposely say to people, you know, we've got nukes, don't fuck with us. But if nukes are like 20 minutes from landing from the UK shores, what's the point in sending nukes to their country? That's just going to cause a shitload of suffering. If anything, we should focus all our efforts on detonating the nukes in the sky. We shouldn't just needlessly go and kill people because, oh, they've been mean to us, let's be mean to them. I mean, how old are we? You know what I mean? What like sort of mentality do we have? You know, it's absolutely
So we should
fucking brain dead.
So your response to that is to do nothing?
No,
Because this is I had this debate about a week ago.
Well, think about it. Right, nukes are coming over to England. Yeah, they've already been sent.
Yeah,
we can't stop it. Out of pure spite, you're gonna go and nuke them. You're gonna nuke. You're gonna go and kill millions and millions of people out of spite from a few individuals that decided to nuke you. Just think about it.
No, because for me, it's like I said before. About a week ago, I was debating with someone about the Syria, and I was like, because I was for military intervention, I was like, should we sit there and do nothing? It's the same thing here. Should we? It's a scenario, isn't it? Should we sit there just to sit there and do nothing? Would be more of a shame than, for me, nuking someone. I know that sounds daft, but it would for me anyway, because it's like Syria. For us to sit there and do nothing is more of an embarrassment. It's the same with nuking someone. You can't just let them nuke us. You know what I'm saying?
I just don't see the point in retaliation. It's like if someone throws a grenade in your house and is about to kill everyone and like you've say your neighbour who lives across your road, yeah. Your whole family, your gran, your mum, your dad, you know, your sister, your brother, and some grandchildren in the living room, and the exact opposite is in their other living room. And it's only you two that have got a feud. The person in the other house, and he throws a grenade first, it's going to land in your house. You have the option. Are you going to need this out of spite? Are you going to throw that grenade as well and kill all those innocents just because they've went and done the same to you? Now, to me, that's fucking crazy.
Like I said before, the scenario I put, if someone had a gun to your head and you had a gun in your pocket, would you not pull it out?
Of course I'd pull it out. But it's a false equivalency, because what would be a more equivalency would be they've got a gun to your head and they've pulled the trigger. Now, are you going to pull out your gun? It's not just you. It's not just two people in that, is it? It's other people that are completely innocent in this.
Hey.
Hey, Angels.
I wanted to actually add something here, because I'm probably, oh my god, true to form, in between both of you. Oh, that sounds like a nice option, but like, just saying. But I kind of in between, because I don't disagree with Joe that there are some lines that have to be towed, and you know, so what can we put up with when it's proven, when there's been a parliamentary vote, when there has been a full investigation?
Yeah.
that when
You're
there
talking about
hasn't,
Syria.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So when there hasn't been, that is simply not good enough, and that's on every level. So there is such a thing as potentially, at least. I mean, I don't know what to say really. Like, I suppose, which is one of the books that I suggest that all of you read because it's bloody brilliant. But there is such a thing as it at times. I'm not saying that I'm totally anti-interventionist. I am largely, but what I think with this is that I cannot see enough solid evidence to go in and start bombing people at this stage. So I think that why don't we just wait and see what happens with the investigation?
But the thing is, Angels, I was reading earlier on that one of the people who went, one of the chemical inspectors that went in was shot as he entered the place to test if there was a chemical attack.
What? Oh,
Exactly.
and so sorry. And what was the source that you heard this from?
It was Sky News. I'll tell you, I'll tag you in it.
Yeah, do because I've been
Because when
trying
I
to.
saw that, I was like, and there's still people out there that want to do nothing. And to me,
Yeah.
I can't sit there and watch
Do you?
people.
No,
Yeah.
no. I understand where you're coming from. Absolutely, I do. But I also think, wait, don't sort of knee jerk because we know that knee jerk equals catastrophe.
I'll take you something on Twitter. It's from Sky News. Head of Organisation for Prevention of Chemical Weapons say the UN security team have been shot at in Derma in Syria.
Oh, in Dorma, yeah.
Yeah. So, it's all right, people saying, right, let's wait for the chemical inspectors to turn up and disprove that it wasn't Assad. Well,
I'm
they're
not
going in
saying
there.
it wasn't, but what I'm saying is,
there are people out there that are saying it wasn't Assad. I'm not saying you personally.
yeah.
So it's now been over a week. I think it's been 10 days since the
But
chemical attack
we
happened.
can't. Yeah, but we also can't go. Okay, like when people don't know it, and they don't, they can't go. Oh well, because we strongly suspect this, we're gonna go in and we're gonna bomb the fuck out of innocent civilians.
But no innocent civilian has died when they dropped the.
Oh, isn't it 46 so far?
No. When they had the attack, when the US and UK and French bombed them on Friday night, no civilian died.
46, I heard.
I think you're wrong there. I do.
It's
Well,
kind of
honestly.
fucking hard to tell, though, isn't it?
That's what I had heard.
Sure.
I mean, I'm not sure either because I'm pretty sure we're not being given the truth regardless. But nothing goes without collateral damage. I remember
you did target chemical sites. You didn't target actual cities, if that makes sense. You didn't target people. You targeted sites.
That's true, but
But
don't
there's
you
always civilians. Like there's gonna be Bob the cleaner there, isn't there? There's gonna be Jane the fucking food cook. There's gonna be.
It's not even that. Like Vohan, it's don't you remember the one of the reasons why I started fucking sobbing on the stream the other day was when it was that guy and he was like a doctor in one of the hospitals and he's like, thanks guys for starting to actually bomb us. Cheers. Exactly what we actually fucking need when we're trying to save people here. And the moment I saw it, because it made it so real, I was like, like I literally was just like a wreck. And I just, that's why I just think first, do later, you know?
Well, do you just not think like that's one of the reasons why a lot of people don't want to get involved in any sort of conflict over boards? Because essentially, if bad shit happens all around the world all the time, but as soon as we're involved in it, it makes people think about it and it makes people conscious, like churn inside.
I know.
You know what I mean?
I know that. I know that.
So like, if it happens and it's over there, no one, oh shit, that's happened over there. Oh all right, oh that's bad, isn't it? But as soon as like people think like, oh shit, that's our troops doing that, or like it makes people think twice about that sort of thing.
You mean it like brings it back home to them, basically.
Like there's bad shit that happens all around the world all the time, but people don't take notice of it.
Yeah, but then I agree, like James, because James and I have very similar views on many things, right? Even in this, like I wouldn't not intervene in like ever. I'm not like one of those people that would never kind of go in, but I just feel like in this case it's wrong. I feel like we not. Yeah. Why?
Sorry. Carry on.
That we do not have a backed up enough case to actually go there, as far as evidence, and we could rush in, but then isn't the famous phrase "fools rush in"? I think that we need to start learning from our ridiculous intervention in the past with no plan to actually sort stuff out after, when it comes to Iraq and Afghanistan and I mean even Libya and like stuff. So
well, the problem is with these sort of countries is, I mean, if you're going to intervene and sort of like shit like this, it's either all
then
or
you
nothing.
need a fucking plan. Yeah.
Let me finish. Sorry, I haven't finished the point. It's either all or nothing, but you can't do all or nothing with these countries. The best thing to do is nothing, because if you go in and do all, the populace aren't going to react well. You know what I mean? You aren't the liberators; you're the conquerors. So, and you can't just go and do a half-hearted bombing, because then you're just being a fucking cunt and being a shitbag. Just throw bombs at them. You know what I mean? Just either let them deal with it. It's like if a European country was doing a similar thing, yeah, we could go all in, guns blazing, fucking conquer the fucking assholes and fucking give it back to the people. But you can't do it with these countries because they just resent you for it. Because they just see, these are just foreign invaders that, they don't even believe in Allah and all this bollocks, and and then you're the enemy.
You said such a key phrase then, by the way. You're not liberators, you're conquerors. And that is exactly what I mean. So like, when people do not see things in that particular manner, James is right though, because there is a line. The moment like children are honestly just continually being like slaughtered, of course people can't sit by and watch that happen, but that should be UNHCR, that should be like all of the sort of other forces that we have in play. That should not be us going to war with a country that we don't need to, basically. So
yeah, but here's the thing though, like, say if I don't know, a crazy guy got in charge of Switzerland and like, the rich and powerful all backed him, and he had a massive army, and he just started to say, you know what, anyone with green eyes, we're gonna kill. And we're gonna kill them in the most horrific way. Like, I mean, there'd be no problem. And the rest of the world, the rest of like the Western world, all like going in, guns blazing, fucking them up, stopping them from doing that. And because at the end of the day, it's they wouldn't see it. It's because they have a share similar culture with us, and they, it'd be fine to do that. But in these sort of countries, like I don't want to say this in a bad way, but the backwards compared to the rest of us. The 100 years behind us.
Arguably, but I mean,
well, not arguably. I'd probably say it's quite affirmatively. The homophobia, they're against women. In cultural wise, I don't mean like any sort of like
depends on the person culturally. Obviously, yeah. I see what you're saying, but
I'd argue that the more east you go in Europe as well, like Poland, I'd probably say they're like 20 years behind us. To say Russia, they're probably 30 years behind us as well. Well, Polish people are in Poland specifically. They're extremely homophobic. They're slightly sexist. If you go into Russia, they're even more homophobic, even more sexist and racist. And these are just things I see, and I'll call shit out as I see it.
Oh, I've got tons of Polish and Russian friends around here.
Are they sexist or racist?
No, not at all. No. They're but I'm like, you have to understand. I'm from Greater London. I'm from Greater London. Like you can't be sexist or racist in Greater London. You wouldn't fucking survive. So even if they were, they wouldn't tell me.
Right. It's just my personal experiences that have shaped this. And me speaking to other I've got a few. I've got a friend that is Polish, a lesbian girl, and she basically shares similar views on me. This is that Poland is well behind on the times and stuff like that. Like,
really?
Oh yeah, in Poland, the actual itself, it's considered similar to paedophilia.
So if someone's gay, yeah, but this is weird because I know two gay Polish guys who, or a gay Polish guy and a gay woman who I know well, and there's they don't appear.
Ask them how it's if it's okay to be gay in Poland.
I will. I mean, obviously not now since it's 2 a.m., but I will tomorrow.
No, this is just what she said to me. Like, obviously, she's been in the UK. She's been in the UK for 10 years. So
yeah,
it might have changed since then. So,
okay. I mean, I think pretty much nobody gives a shit if you're gay. Surely, I mean,
I don't know. I mean, obviously, you're aware of Russia's the homophobia in Russia.
Yeah, but they apparently even now have been much more kind of lax on it because they sort of been forced to, basically.
I don't think anyone can force them to do anything. They're one of the biggest powers in the world.
No, I think so. I think there's social pressure.
I think the social monopoly is against the gays in that sort of place.
I don't know. I honestly think that the more kind of marches there are and the more rights that are elsewhere.
Well, we could just look at rights if you want to. Gay porn is illegal in Russia. It's the same category as paedophilia.
Yeah, but I feel like the pressure is on them, and I feel like sooner or later it's just going to be mainstream.
I mean, yeah, sooner or later, but it's good. I mean, they're behind. This is what I'm getting at.
Oh, right. Oh yeah, I wouldn't argue that really, but I do think that they're sort of they've got a big weight on their shoulders and they need to sort it.
I mean, Putin's been on record basically saying paedophiles are the same as or gays are the same as paedophiles in his mind.
Yeah, but he's a fucking nutter. I mean, we don't need to talk about him. But like,
He's in charge of the country.
yeah, but
it's a lot more authoritarian
like I said,
than any
and
other sort of Western culture.
Yeah, I would say actually sooner rather than later.
I mean, hopefully.
Yeah.
I'd love to go to Russia and have a
just be a massive gay and be like,
have Ivan Drago put it up me,
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm joking.
I'd love to be.
You'd have to charm me first. You'd have to take me out for a dinner, treat me nice.
Really? Oh no, I'm like a slag. I'd just screw on like the first date, but.
I'm a slag for women, not for men. Men have to treat me right.
I'm a slag for everyone. I'm not really fussy. I go for both. So. But no. I think that the social pressures on him. They can't really he can't avoid it. You know what I mean?
Who's watching Coronation Street?
I know. I was just about to ask. Oh, James Fielding is watching Coronation Street. Oh,
don't hate me, please. No.
Oh. No, I don't.
Because
I just thought that you weren't about 150. That's all.
No, not 150 anyway. No, now it was actually finished, but I'm now watching Family Guy.
I can forgive you for that. All right.
Can I? What I want to say is that I feel like a lot of people say people follow America, but they don't. People follow the UK. Whatever the UK decides, the rest of the world follows.
Do you reckon?
Oh yeah.
I don't.
We were the first. We were the first to abolish slavery. Oh, it may be in some other country, but we were first recognised. It was the intellectual, debate, and it's always in England. Everything, all the intellectual debates have always been centred around the intellectuals of England, Cambridge and Oxford and stuff. It may have been Luxembourg or something at first, but that don't really matter. I don't know who it was at first, but women's rights and all this stuff, it seems to just centre around England, and then the rest of the world follows. I mean, people like to say, "Oh yeah, everyone follows America in culture and that," but essentially that is our culture. It's just a bastardized version of it. So I often feel the rest of the world just follows suit us. Everyone is trailing behind.
Everyone kind of follows everyone though. So you say that people follow Britain, but there's also evidence to suggest that other countries follow also other countries. So I'm not 100% convinced. I feel like we all learn from each other largely. If you're meaning that is the UK influential, I do think so. I think you're right. I don't think it's the one and only though.
No, I'm not
by
saying.
any means.
I wouldn't be so brass to say that.
No.
But kind of, yeah.
We're one of the big influences, but I wouldn't say, it's not the one and only. Or
I just look at all the other countries, the rest of Europe around us are fairly on par with us, and some are better than others. And better than us on some things as well, definitely. But then I look at America, I'd probably say they're quite behind us.
They're ahead of us in some things. The problem
not
with
on
America,
social things, no.
Well, we got, you can't compare.
10 years ago, they were killing children.
Yes, but you
can't.
Death
penalty for children.
I know, but you can't compare. A place with 300 million people, with more guns than people, who sort of, have a completely different rust belt with the coast and all of, no, it's not comparable.
Well, if we're talking about laws, I mean, all
No, it's not just laws. It's just like culture and the way that people think is not comparable.
I mean, well, yeah, no, it is. All laws are comparable to each other, regardless of the amount of people or the. I mean, let's put it this way: all punishments for breaking the laws are comparable with all other punishments
Oh,
for
okay.
breaking
That's
the
not
laws.
what I meant. What I'm saying is, we are talking about a country with 50 states who has 300 million people, whereby it takes you like fucking 3 days to like drive just, within your own country. Now, today, I traveled through 4 countries in
Ooh.
4 hours. So it's not
Let me
comparable.
guess: Germany, Holland,
No,
France,
it was
Belgium.
France, Belgium, Holland, England. But what I'm saying is, and they all have their own culture, they all have their own language, they all have their own, stuff. Now, it's we can't even begin to kind of think about that kind of vast thing, because it's not something that applies to you or me or whoever, right? And I would arguably say anybody within Western Europe, it's not. I disagree with you. I think it's a huge difference.
What's the huge difference?
The huge difference is by being somewhere where the vast majority of people don't even own a freaking passport because they don't need to, because it takes them 3 days to drive to a different state. Um, and they all speak, well, arguably, the same language, and they don't have to sort of go through, just all of that. Like, they don't have to do that, whereas we do. It's different.
Yeah, no. What I'm arguing though is that the social laws and norms are well behind us. Like the general populace are well behind us on how humans should be. We're much more advanced than they are. Like the majority of Americans in different parts of the region are racist. The laws are absolutely bonkers. They are a lot more
Yeah, I mean,
archaic than us.
yeah, I also understand with when I had a look at some of the gun laws for people that have been previously mentally very severely ill, and their ability to buy guns, I was shocked. So yes, there is some things, but I will be completely honest with you. I'm not knowledgeable enough to turn around and say that that's absolutely true, because I don't know.
Well, I mean, I can just look at how they sentence their prisoners, and people can say, "Oh no, yeah, that's right." They're a lot more harsh, but they have certain policies, they debate. They have a free strike policy. So no matter what crime, say whoever's committed, yeah, say they've been robbing, bourbons, chocolate bourbon, the biscuits. All they like to do is rob them. Yeah, that's all they got. That's all they like. After 3 times of doing that, they get a life sentence, no matter what the crime.
Okay, that's bloody ridiculous.
I think that's federal law as well.
Oh my god. Okay.
It's basically they have a law. They have a system based on baseball. 3 strikes and you're out.
I mean, that's bloody ridiculous.
I don't know if that's
bang
all over the place, but I don't know if that's in every state.
because I think
it is.
I think things are like federalized, right? So that means that in different states there's obviously different laws and stuff. But no, that's bloody stupid. But then, having said that, is there any evidence? I don't know this. I'm literally asking you because I don't know. But is there any evidence to say that maybe that ends up deterring people from further crime?
No, because most people who commit crime don't actually think about the punishments. I mean, there's very little evidence to say like the punishment for potential crime deters people from crime.
Yeah. So here,
I mean, on the contrary, most people don't actually think about that.
So here, well, actually not here because I'm back in the UK, as I do realise. But in Holland, there's very little evidence to say that legalized weed is like a bad thing.
Well, it's not a bad thing. It's
No, people are like overall, it actually lowers crime rates, and people, like people don't get banged up for like just having a tiny bit of weed on them. Like it's not, and
no one cares in Holland.
Yeah, it really is. Like, and they're cool with it, and they have done so much better than us when it comes to crime rates to do with like drugs or
Oh yeah. Well, look at Portugal. You know about Portugal, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
About them basically legalizing all drugs and then saying, "Oh, was it all drugs, or was it just heroin?"
No, it was. I think there's about 4 or 5 different drugs that they legalized.
Yeah, and then just instead of like spending the money on incarcerating people, they just decided, "Oh, we're going to spend this money and help people get off them instead."
Yeah.
And then their heroin addiction went down by 50%. It's unprecedented. No other country has had that, and I think it was in the 2-year process.
No, no. Holland also does not have as much of a drug problem as the UK does. So, and yet, like,
weed's the perfect drug for druggies because it's one of the least harmful. It's very satisfying.
James Fielding's going to bed, so just going to say good night to him.
Good night, James.
Night, James Fielding.
There's a debate going on now as well, so I probably want to leave as well so I can catch this.
That's fine. Do you want to
wrap? Sure. Yeah. So yeah, guys, it looks like we're all heading off. So yeah, thank you all for watching, and I'll